evening and welcome to the Gaming Kin podcast. As always, I'm your host Jack, and with me as always is Mark.
Hi.
So we're going to start off with our topic as always, and last time we spoke about our opinion on the future of video games in the terms of hardware and how game companies might be physically trying to increase our enjoyment of gaming through the physical properties of gaming, be it consoles and things like that. This time we're going to talk more on a software, game engine, storytelling level, kind of what games are going to consist of now, in our view, in the future to improve our gaming pleasures.
Gaming pleasures.
Gaming pleasures.
This is the best way you can steer it.
Apparently so.
I did not want to see what you do with Final Fantasy, man. Cloud. Swing your big sword.
Final Fantasy Mystic Quest melted my brain this week, and I have had a cold. My brain is not working, okay?
Fever dreams, man.
Anyway, are you want to kick us off, Mark?
Yeah, because I'll kind of go for basic shit, 'cause undoubtedly you've got some deviously intricate shit plan. I'm like, well, I'm going to focus on storytelling, because I play games for stories, not for all the more intellectual shit.
I play games for stories. I just enjoy every other element of the game.
Okay, so I only have 2 points, but they're more like expansive. Okay, one actually came from a girlfriend. The idea of as time goes on, you get like adaptive AI.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more like if it can sense you're trying to play a game a certain way, the game will try and counteract that to force you to play against it.
Yeah.
It's like
I like a lot like I'm going to take a punt here and guess that you're meaning a lot like the adaptive difficulty setting on like the Lego games, where if you have it turned off, it's always uneasy for younger kids, but for people a bit more our age, the better you play, the better the AI gets at combat and stuff. Would be maybe not exactly what you're talking about, but maybe an example of that. Is that kind of roughly in the ballpark?
It's in the ballpark. It's more like specifically we're talking about it in the sense of morality-based games.
Yeah.
For instance, say like Mass Effect, right? Yeah. You get Paragon and Renegade. So if a game senses you are full-on Paragon, you don't like doing the dodgy shit, the game will force you to make harder and harder decisions to see how far you'll go. That
does. I actually like the sound of that. That sounds like really cool. Like
theoretically, yeah. So if you get to a point where, like for instance, say, in Telltale games, they have an idea of it tells you the decisions made by people at the same period in the game, like how they did. Then you can find out the percentages. If you take that idea but put it towards the AI of the game, I'm going for AI because I think eventually it'll be some form of like VI or whatever. I'll be able to figure out how far most people will go in the game to obtaining an objective, and they'll actually try and go, well, really, let's see what happens if we make you do less or less.
Yeah, I could get behind that. That sounds fantastic. I would, if BioWare bring back we have received word that they do want to do a new Mass Effect game. I would love to see that be implemented in a Mass Effect game.
Yeah.
Or any BioWare game, to be fair. Because BioWare do have they're great at doing that kind of branching storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Even though 9 times out of, the only time we've really seen it come to fruition is the end of Mass Effect 3, properly.
Yeah.
And it's been that kind of ABC choice that your choices in game has had nothing to do with it. This is another in-game choice, but seeing that progress through the game, I would love to see how that would again progress through something like a trilogy or a series of interlinked games. That would probably push the scope of where you could go with that even further.
I mean, ideally, like if you start the game 1 and the game treats you like a noob, right? So it just like kind of lets you think you're doing well. By 2, it's like, okay, you're this kind of player, let's push you more. And by 3rd game, it's like it will not let you play the way you want. It'll force you more and more. Like, if you want to win, if you want to beat the game, you have to play it against your type.
Yeah.
Which will just fuck people off as well. But they'll be like, but I want to fucking win. Like, for me, I hate it. I can, like, well, Robert, he loves being the renegade. He loves the idea of, like, I was just seen in Mass Effect 2 where, like, a sport comes up to try and interview after a mission.
Yep.
And he just loves lamping her because he thinks she's annoying fuck. But I'm the one who'll try and be, like, pure and inspirational and give these, like, wee speeches and shit. So the idea of, like, being forced to lamp her, I'm like, I don't want to do that. No.
See, I'm kind of playing Mass Effect, at least. I'm kind of right in the middle. I'll go down the Paragon path for some things and down the Renegade path for others.
Yeah.
I remember specifically talking to the Hanar in the Citadel, and I just went full on Renegade on him, and then like 5 minutes later I came up with another Renegade Paragon choice, and I just went purely Paragon down that route. It's just one of those things. I just go, what would I do in real life if I was in that situation? I don't go, I'm going to play this as a Paragon, I'm going to play this as a Renegade. I'll often play Mass Effect 3 times. How I would play it. Once is pure Paragon, once is pure Renegade. But I always play it how I would do it the first time round for the most enjoyment. But I just want to see what kind of other paths unlock and like other interactions and stuff, what I can dig through, because you know I love finding out as much about the lore and the background of characters and things, and taking these alternate routes unlocks more and more information that I can just go, yes, I know more things. So yeah, that's why it takes me like 4 years to play Mass Effect.
Fuck's sake, man. But yeah, that's one idea. The other idea I actually came up with was the idea of the game actively trying to beat you.
Yeah.
Like, so it's not even like it's going to try and force you. It's like it knows you're trying to win. So I think this is a massively into the future, because like what I'm trying to explain is like so beyond anything.
It sounds like a lot beyond anything that we're
currently
technologically capable of just now. But it does sound like something that it will end up being implemented in games. So like just from your quick mention of it there, it does sound like something that's going to be implemented in gaming in the future. But it doesn't sound, because I know that AI is getting stronger and better and smarter and faster, but it's still kind of getting to that point where it's not quite like, because adaptive difficulty, it basically goes, the quicker you can kill enemies, the stronger it makes the enemies. Yeah. Like with the example I was using earlier to see if I was in the right ballpark. Yeah. With your first point, it basically goes, the quicker you can defeat the enemies, the more hit points the enemies are going to have, the harder they can hit you, and the better they fight. Like the more likely they are to block and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But it's not perfect.
Yeah. Like, so basically, the thing I'm trying to explain, I'll try and explain in a bit more detail, is like the game. It's not like, obviously it's not self-aware. I wouldn't want to fucking do that. But like, if it got to a point where, like for instance, you heard a story about the chess-based AI that beat the Grandmaster. Yeah. Like an idea, like say you plug it into like an MMO, right? So it's like a world, in the world monster, wherever, it's a big bad monster land. But it's actively trying to make sure no one gets near the end of the game. Yeah. Because for it, obviously, it realizes if it gets taken down, it loses. So the game doesn't want to lose. So it'll like, how to put it? Considering changes to an MMO on the fly here, I've just thought of a better idea. So you're one of the first people when a beta tester to start the game. The game won't be as hard for you, because it'll be the game trying to identify how bad you are, how much of a threat. But say you come in 3 years later, the tutorial will be fucking solid, and so on. Just as you try to get through it, the game will know to try and take you down. I would have to say that might be a bad idea. Oh yeah, but it put a lot of people off. Yeah. If you could increase the difficulty as it goes on, like not as such as a bell curve. As most difficulty spikes go, but make it actual exponential.
so that you are at least able to get past the tutorial and a couple of hours into the game
Before it's like, fuck you.
before it starts trying to screw you over. I imagine that would work. But again, you would have to like put a disclaimer on it saying
This game will hate you.
this game learns from your actions and it will be hard. You know,
Like I think one of the best, even like software ideas recently was a Nemesis system.
yeah. That I've not played the Shadow War game.
But you just did a simple idea.
I've seen my brother play it. My sister's playing it just now. The Nemesis system looks like probably one of the best features of that game.
I mean, if that gets widely implemented, it could really change up the idea of games as we know it.
Yeah, it seems like an idea that the Nemesis system, if you can incorporate something similar to that into many different types of RPGs, it would fit in many different types of RPGs, and it would add a greater challenge.
Yeah.
Like not so much to things like optional super bosses or the final boss or, you know, end game content, but like see the grind kind of mid game. It would add a greater level of difficulty and challenge.
Definitely.
To that, and I don't mean that. I'm not trying to say that the grind is easy, because the grind is not easy.
Never is.
But
it's fucking, it can get boring as fuck though.
It would, and something like the Nemesis system would definitely change it up and make it more fun, because instead of like in Final Fantasy just running in a circle until you get every single random encounter that you need to get to level Z, it would, because generally in an area you'll only encounter like 5 different types of enemy. You might encounter many more types of enemies, and they'll be smarter, and while they'll all have a base move pool, they won't know every move in that. They'll know different ones, and you'll have to adapt to every different single one and stuff. I think it would, using it in that kind of way, if you were implementing it across RPGs particularly, would definitely make it a bigger challenge, and it would make a challenge in a way that's not like Dark Souls, like me playing Dark Souls where I'm just going to die every time it comes around, but it's going to be a challenge that makes it more fun rather than frustrating.
Yeah. And even if you implement it in if you implement it in a different way as well, like you said, it makes the grind more easier, right? But even if you take the idea of like optional bosses and stuff, even if it's just to get some cool loot you've heard about, then it makes a different conversation with each gamer. So if you get one person who says, I thought X, Y, and Z there, it's pure solid, and you're like, really? I thought like A, B, and C there, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So then it's never like, well, obviously eventually it'll be some experiences, but to get there, it's going to be a very different journey, which will be a little more interesting as well.
Definitely. I agree there. The only problem with that, I would say, is with optional super bosses. Like, I think every game should have the same optional super bosses at the same place. Like in Final Fantasy X, Final Fantasy is always going to be my best example for things like this. It's the JRPG I'm the most used to. But you had was either Nemesis or Penance, and the Scar on the Camlands, and in Final Fantasy 15, right at the end of the game, you got the final hunt, which was the Adamantoise, which is the walking turtle mountain.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's changing those up. I don't really see I don't really like the idea of changing those up differently for every different player. Because they are all optional, and they are the super boss.
To be fair, I didn't say super boss. You keep jumping in super boss. I just meant, say there's like this one little guardian of a forest or some shit. Not the I'm in the Turtle Mountain motherfucker. No, those ones are more like you do that for the title of saying, yes, I spent like 6 hours defeating a fucking mountain. Bring it. No, I fought fuckwit in the forest with bamboo sword X.
Okay, I do apologise. That was my bad. I did mishear you there.
No, like I do get the idea of super optional bosses. That is more for the just ability to say, yes, I done it. I trained my guys up to the nth degree and totally dominated it.
Yeah, I've done just about everything in Final Fantasy X, except from beat Penance and Nemesis.
That's
The only
upsetting.
things I've not done in that game is beat the 2 optional super bosses. That's that, and it's not because I've been unable to unlock them or find them.
Mhm.
I've been just unable to beat them.
I can feel it, like I can hear the pain in your voice here.
Oh,
I have to admit this.
It's hard. It's hard. Like, cause I'm a big RPG fan, especially
really.
especially Final Fantasy. Funnily
Wow.
enough, I think I've mentioned that every single episode.
Yeah, just get brought up.
It's kind of my trademark now.
No, but you
I'm
know,
a bit of an RPG fan, especially Final Fantasy. Anyway,
shocker.
you know, I've been playing Final Fantasy since I was about 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been playing it.
Is that fucking
series.
ironic?
I've been playing that series for about 21 years, and the one thing that I've never been able to do is beat the optional super bosses in the majority of the games.
Fuck.
And
sake.
it's not even like I can't beat them, like I can't get my characters to a higher enough level, or I can't unlock the like skills or magics or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the patience.
Oh, for fuck.
For someone who talks about enjoying the long grind of a game,
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have the patience for a super boss. Because for me, like, because the first time you fight them, it's a learning experience,
Mm-hmm.
and then every time after that, it's about perfecting everything down to a T.
Yeah.
You know, obviously their moves will come out randomly.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have set patterns, but knowing how to react to each of them
Yeah.
is adapting to it. I just don't have the patience to try again and again and again and again and again and again. Hence why I don't play Dark Souls.
Jeez.
Because I don't have the patience to try something 100 times till I get it right.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to say I've defeated them. I just haven't. Except from the Adamantoise, I've not completed Final Fantasy 15 yet. I'm like so close to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I just haven't been able to pick it up because I want to play the optional episodes, the DLC content.
Yeah.
And I don't have it yet. And I know that once I complete the game, I'll play something else,
And that'll be it.
and then that'll be it. I'll completely forget about the DLC. So I'm leaving it until I get the DLC.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I'm not going to fight Adamantoise because it is like a 4, 5, 6 hour battle against a walking mountain. And if it hits you just right, it spawns you outside of the battle area and you have to start all over again.
Nah, fuck that. Utter fuck that.
So I don't intend. I mean, I probably will go and try and fight Adamantoise, but I don't plan on it. I'll probably do it one day just for the sake of doing it.
Like, you actually finally get so bored one day, you're like, do you know what?
For that PS4 trophy. That'll be why I do it.
Is it a trophy, seriously?
I think it is a trophy.
What, do you even get anything cool
Well,
from it?
It's not a trophy like defeat the Adamantoise,
Yeah.
complete all the hunts.
Alright. But do you even get anything cool from finally defeating the biggest, baddest monster?
I don't know.
I'd really get annoyed if it's just, oh, you beat it, finally. It's like, you get fuck all though.
Platinum trophy.
I don't know if it's worth it.
Oh, it's always worth a platinum trophy.
Yeah.
I'm not a trophy hunter, but if I can get a platinum trophy, I'll go for it.
I don't even think I've got one yet. I don't.
I've got 2.
Oh, like grin in your face. If you're grin in your face right now, in fuck's sake.
They're not even like hard ones or anything.
It's like kiddie games in it or some shit.
NCIS.
Oh fuck you, man.
Complete the game.
That's platinum.
Platinum.
Seriously.
Yep.
Oh no way. That's still not fair.
And Lego Marvel Superheroes. No, Lego Marvel Avengers.
Oh, not bad.
And that's complete the game.
Platinum.
And I'm not talking about just complete story mode.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Mini kits, Stanley in Peril, True Believers, Red Bricks, like all the gold bricks.
Okay, I'll give you that. I can never report 100%
Doing every
games.
single challenge in the game. And then I've 100%ed all the DLC trophies as well. There's no platinums for the DLC trophies, and you don't have to get the DLC trophies for the platinum in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
But I've got 100% on the DLC trophies as well.
Okay, that's not bad. I'll give you that. That's pretty cool.
And I didn't do that because I wanted the trophies. I did that because I enjoyed the game. And you just happened, but I wanted 100% the game.
Mm.
I wasn't really bothered about the trophies, but by 100% in the game, you get the trophies. So because there's no online feature, so it's not like one XY amount of online games like you would in like Formula 1 or FIFA or Tekken or anything like that.
Yeah.
So, like, because I don't bother with online trophies because I'm not good enough at online games.
Yeah, can't really
be
be
fair.
fair to them. I'd rather just play a game. Give me a game. Not
Yeah.
an online. Just give me a game. Good story. Good for me. Yeah, that's really my 2 points. Basically, the game gets pissed at you and forces you to do shit you don't want. Then the game hates you and doesn't want you to win. Basically, it's just the game saying, fuck you, game wins, not person.
So basically, games are going to be harder.
Yeah, they'll
essentially.
actively make you want to hate them.
See, for me, it's going to be a lot about the story itself.
Okay.
I do see a lot more because we've got most games have a story that puts people in situations that they may or may not find themselves in real life. Some games have kind of realistic scenarios,
Like Heavy Rain kind of thing?
Yeah. And some have scenarios that are a bit more out there.
JRPGs.
Yeah.
All of them. Every
much.
single fucking one.
But I do see some more games becoming more realistic, even maybe based on real life events.
Based generally depends on the event. Someone like the idea of like a good realistic event is also wouldn't be a bit contentious. So
Yeah.
give me an example.
Well, the best example I can think of just now would be Battlefield 5.
I
With,
get you. Right, okay.
Stories of the War.
Yeah. Okay,
War
cool.
Stories campaign mode thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the best example I can probably come up with right now, off the top of my head. That kind of things like that. Again, like we were talking last time about VR, probably going to be a really, really big tech physical thing for games.
Mm-hmm.
We are moving into the age of virtual reality and augmented reality, and I do see like a lot of these games are going to be, while they're going to be in VR, they are going to have stories that, because you're in VR,
Mm-hmm.
is going to you're going to feel more immersed in it,
Yeah.
and they're going to go into kind of more real life like stories, like the war stories from Battlefield 5.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to impact the gamers more because they're not just sitting in front of a TV playing it. They're in it, because virtual reality, you can turn 360 degrees, look straight up, look straight down, and you're in the game world. It's going to have more of an effect on you
Mm-hmm.
because you're there. It seems like you're there.
Yeah.
I also think that, AI is going to get smarter, which is going to ramp up game difficulty. But I do believe that will be a toggle option on or off, at least to begin with.
Yeah.
Until we all get used to the adaptive nature of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think that we're going to see a lot of innovation within game engines as well.
Yes, it's the kind of thing I couldn't touch. I'm like, even if I tried it, you'd be like, hold on. But since I know how this is going to be a pure big tangent for you, just want to quickly address the first point. So, like, I do like more immersive stories is a really good idea. Like, just when you said war things, I was just thinking, like, if you made, obviously you get, like, you said you get Battlefield, right? But
Yeah.
say if you get a proper RPG type board game, if it makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, say,
we've got one just released yesterday,
Right.
Valkyria Chronicles 4, that just released.
oh, okay, right.
That's set in an alternate universe where everything looks kind of World War II-ish,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a strategy RPG,
All right, okay.
which is a fantastic game, by the way.
All right.
My brother got it for PS4. I'm going to be getting that for Switch myself.
All right.
But it looks such a fantastic game.
Oh, cool. Well, no, that's a fair point. But I think just because you said more immersive and more like realistic feeling, for me, the first thing I thought of was like, say, it was literally VR style, World War II game, right? So you take take on the persona of like a private or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, say it was like a fully realized game, right? So it was like you start off as a private in the army, and it's literally you have to do menial tasks, but it's like you build up emotion within the game. You end up having all these mini games talking to characters and stuff, and then throughout the course of the war, it's like you lose people as well.
Yeah.
So it could even be...
it would help you build a connection with other characters.
Yeah.
Within the game. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's like, so even if it's like you're seeing it, because you're seeing it through your eyes, you're seeing all these people just in their day to day, and then it's like you have to go do fights, and you survive, you come back to the barracks or whatever, and they're gone. So it's like dealing with that, and it's like you could just like, maybe it's not even level up, it's like just the progression of the war. Then at the end of the game, it's literally the war's over, but you have to still have to deal with ramifications.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously it doesn't sound like a fun game, but it sounds more like an experience.
Yeah.
It's the kind of thing you could, if you done it right, and you got enough intel from like actual soldiers and stuff, it could probably be used to help someone like feel, someone experience what a war is really like without actually having to get hurt.
Yeah.
Or could even be a way for like a soldiers like with PTSD and stuff to actually explain their experiences and try and boost proper awareness, not like empathy. But
awareness.
Yeah, actual...
people knowing what it is, how it works.
Yeah, it's not just...
And not just knowing how they're feeling, but knowing why.
Yeah, knowing the fear, knowing the sense of loss, of knowing, like thinking, I'm actually going to see my friend tomorrow when we go out to the battlefield. Is that what life is? If you do it properly, those kind of games, that could be properly changing. That could be amazing.
Yeah. Obviously, it wouldn't just be war games. I mean,
no, yeah, that's just one.
It was the best example I had in mind. I mean, you can do
hopefully a lot more lighthearted and less in-depth games.
There's also like GT Sport has embraced VR.
Yeah.
But it only has like a VR tour mode
where
you do a 3-lap race against the AI, or a time trial mode where you've got unlimited laps and you just go hell for leather.
Sounds good.
But maybe having a career mode where you start like kart, in the kart series, and then build your way up through things like BTCC, which is touring cars, to things like GP3, Formula E, Formula 2, Indy, NASCAR, F1. You know, you can take you choose your own progression. You know which series you race in, but you can only choose to stay in the series you're in, go down a series, or go to a selected series above. Like depending on how you drive.
Yeah, so it's as realistic as possible.
Defines what you get. So say you come in third in GP3. Normally you wouldn't be able to go into F1 from that unless in the last couple of years you've got, I think it's a total of 40 points on your license for to get your super license. But if you win Formula 2, that's 40 points right there. So then you can just go straight up into it.
Yeah.
But then it would also take. It wouldn't be a real life Formula 1 because licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
But it would be something similar that represents Formula 1.
Yeah.
It would be the pinnacle of motorsport within the game, and which is Formula 1 is considered the pinnacle of motorsport in real life.
Yeah.
So, you know, it would be a career mode of starting at the bottom and working your way up.
So by the time you get to the top, you'd feel like you've properly earned the titles and that.
And you'll see other racers who are starting at the same level as you, also going up the ranks.
As well as like transfers and stuff
going to
as well.
Going to, like, say, after kart,
yeah.
You and the person that you've battled since day one, since race one, you're Gary Oak. You go to GP3, they go to Formula Nippon or something, which is essentially the Japanese Formula races, right? And then you meet again in Formula 2. And then you sign for rival teams and what is the equivalent of F1, you know?
Yeah.
You know, things like that. It would be really cool to see things like that as well. Again, with also with gaming on the go, we spoke about that as well. I see AR being a big part of that. So things like Pokemon Go and Ingress. We've got a new Harry Potter game coming out, made by Niantic.
Yeah.
We've got a Walking Dead game made by Niantic. It's not made by Niantic, but it uses the kind of geolocation and AR.
Yeah, we yet to try
that
it. I've not
Pokemon
heard
Go
good
uses.
reviews about it.
It uses I've seen it in action. It's not my type of game,
Yeah.
but it does seem pretty good.
I might try it maybe.
I see things like that becoming a bit more prevalent as well. But back to the point I was going to make.
Yeah.
Engine changes.
Yeah.
So the engine does a lot of things in the game.
Mm-hmm.
It's graphics, physics, inventory management. All the stuff that you can do through a UI or anything that's displayed on the screen is done through the engine.
Okay.
I see physics becoming more realistic. Like, we've got pretty decent physics in games as it is, and we're never going to get to the point of real world physics. There's too many variables, and I don't think the engine would be able to handle it. Maybe I'd like to be proven wrong on that.
Well, if I'm talking about mental AIs, eventually you're going to get a fully realized physics system.
But the physics systems we've got are fantastic. But there's just some things, and some games have started implementing it. It doesn't look quite right yet, but things like when you step into water,
all ripples,
how it ripples as you walk. Does it just ripple out where you're standing, even if you're standing still? Or does it only ripple out when you move? And does it follow the pattern of your legs? Or is it just generally a big circle around you if you're like less than waist deep in water in game? Things like that. I think they're going to... And it doesn't seem like a big thing, right?
No, but it does help you.
But it does increase immersion within the game. And I do see games becoming more immersive, especially maybe not particularly games like Fortnite, PUBG, COD 4.
Yeah, well, they don't really need it as much. You're too busy trying to kill folk.
Heavy action games where it's going to be like a multiplayer battlefield, like your battle royale games and your online FPS games.
Yeah,
they're not going to have much of it. You'll probably still get it in FPS games, but it'll be in any games that have like a campaign or story mode or some sort of single player mode.
You can properly appreciate it.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be action RPGs like Fallouts, Skyrims, Final Fantasies.
Yeah, definitely Fallout. I'd be really good in that.
Yeah, so those types of games is definitely more suited to, as well as more realistic physics in other places as well. Like, we've got really great physics for hair and trees and grass and stuff, but that's only going to get better. And as it gets better, again, more immersive.
Yeah. I mean, was it what was that game we seen at E3? It was a wind physics. The samurai one.
Yeah. That was... I've forgotten the name of it.
No idea. But I just remember, I think was it literally the kind of
Ghost of Tsushima.
Sounds right. I'll go for it. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, it was like literally kind of stopped to find you just see like the grass blowing, the trees kind of moving in the wind,
the leaves blowing up,
and it was in the sun as well. Yeah, no, that did look beautiful.
Yeah, because we were pure glued to this action scene, like, and I was like, look how amazing these leaves move. That's a big thing for me, because while I can be glued to an action set piece, if it's a video game one, just be things that make it look more realistic. Like, I'm not one for saying a game has to be the prettiest game ever.
No,
I still like how Final Fantasy VII looks to this day.
Yeah, it's iconic as well. It's earned its.
It's not the best looking game. It's not aged well, but
I suppose.
But to me, it looks like it should.
Yeah.
It feels like it should look like that. But the story is what really got me with Final Fantasy 7 and Final Fantasy 8. Final Fantasy 8 had much, much better graphics. And
that's actually going to put me off in Fantasy 8. For me, the best one graphically, I always thought was 9. Just because I love
the graphical style of 9.
It just done it so seamlessly. It didn't feel like it was pure, like a pure movie, which 8 felt like. It didn't feel like pure 8-bit or whatever. 7 did. So I was like, wow, I can dig this.
But I mean, as graphics improve,
yeah,
it's going to be more immersive, and that's what I like about RPGs in particular. Is you can get so lost in the story, and you can really connect with the characters, because a lot of they kind of start off like kind of plain, and then they develop as the game goes on.
Yeah,
and especially with particularly BioWare games, because of the branching choices, characters develop differently depending on how you play. So you play a lot. You play a lot of the role in the character development, to be fair, so you will connect with them more that way because you've been part of that development of the character. But as the characters develop, you connect with them, and like that's why when Aerith dies in 7, a lot of players were really gutted. They, it was an emotional thing for a lot of players because they connected with this character over the course of the past 20, 30 hours.
So was it that far in? I always forget how far in it is.
It was near the end of disc 2.
Was it?
Yeah.
I always thought it was like pure midway through disc 1.
No.
Fuck's sake, right, that makes more sense.
It was near the end of disc 2.
Right, okay.
We'd spent, I'm assuming, I'm saying 20, 30 hours. This is assuming, just normal play. You're not like over grinding, trying to get everybody's final limits and everything before the end of disc 2 kind of thing, and trying to get every single little bit of materia and things. This is assuming just normal play. And as graphics got better, we got more connected to the characters because we were more immersed in the story. And I've realised I've said the words immersed and immersion far too many times.
Well, that's the whole point of
in this couple of sentences. For me to feel comfortable that it's a word anymore.
Like, am I saying that right? I don't know.
That way you say this, you say one word more than you normally would, and you're like, is that even a word anymore? But no, that's what I love about games. That's why I play games. I like to get lost in a story. That's why I disagree with what Patrick Soderlund said about a year ago about how the industry's moving away from single-player games. I do see us we are moving towards a more multiplayer-centric economy within games. I don't disagree that we're moving slowly away from single-player games, but at the same time, there's a lot of people who still play single-player games to the point that it's still a viable market.
Definitely. Fucking definitely.
And it's a growing market still, because players who particularly like single player games they're buying multiplayer games, but they're buying things like MMORPGs like World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, Guild Wars. It's those types of multiplayer games they're buying. They're not buying Call of Duty or Battlefield or Fortnite. Although Fortnite's free, but you get my point.
Oh yeah, but the amount of money that goes into it.
Story-based games that they're buying. So they'll be buying Fallout 76. They'll be buying Anthem.
Oh yeah.
They'll have bought Destiny and Destiny 2. Probably.
One was alright. I don't know if I'm going to go for 2.
And The Division.
Yes. Fuck yes.
Things like that. These games with stories, predominantly single player. Single player gamers, gamers who play single player games.
Yeah.
When they're buying online multiplayer games, they're buying ones with a story. Maybe not the best story, maybe not the worst story, but a story where they can enjoy that story with other players, rather than buying just the next shoot 'em up.
Yeah, it does get a bit boring after a while.
Or the next sports game.
When you start doing more of this couch co-op, well, get back to that.
I love me some couch co-op. I can't wait. I got Overcooked 2 for the Switch.
Right.
I can't wait to actually play it. I've played a wee bit of it by myself, but it was the same issue that I had with Overcooked on the PlayStation. I cannot do Overcooked with just myself, because you got to switch between the characters. I just don't have the mental agility for it.
Nah, right, it's fucking solid.
But no, that's the way I see games going. And again, the engines are just going to improve and improve and improve, and we're going to get better looking graphics, better physics, and it's just going to keep improving until it reaches a point where it cannot get any better. It's just going to be realistic, and there's no going above realistic. So that's what I see happening.
Yeah.
And with things like the Switch, we're going to be able to have that on the go. With VR, we're going to be able to be in the middle of that. So I am kind of linking back to last week a wee bit as well.
Yeah.
As you can tell, but because it all goes hand in hand. Without the tech, the software is useless, and without the software, the tech's useless. And just seeing both sides of that coin, like both sides of the experience, improve and get to the point where it really makes me excited for the future of gaming. I can't wait to see what's next. I can't wait to be proven right or wrong. I just want to see what's next. I just think immersion's going to be king, regardless of whether it is single player, multiplayer, because the last thing you want is to be playing a game and just go, I'm playing a game. You want to be playing a game and go, I'm currently in the middle of saving the world from Kefka, who has just created a chasm in the middle of the... I that was a Final Fantasy throwback there again.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's what gaming should be about, is getting lost in the experience, whether you are shooting people online from across the world or on your own saving the world from Big Bad, or even if you are playing one of those games where you are the big bad,
like Overlord.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to, just seeing how everything improves, and hopefully some of the things I've said, I said I don't think we're going to get too much in the way of physics realism.
Well, it may happen eventually.
I want to be proven wrong there, don't get me wrong. There's so many variables that I don't think it'll happen. I want to be proven wrong.
Your idea of the physics immersion has made me think of another point which I would love to see implemented in the future. It's kind of like an addition to the Nemesis system, but it's more of an adaptation. Okay, so basically what I'd love to see in future is a fully immersive and fully realised weather system.
Yeah.
Like, not just, it's raining in the world, as an actual weather hazards.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, in like Mad Max, for instance, sometimes you'll get a sandstorm. It doesn't really affect the environment, but if you get caught up in it, it'll damage and stuff, right? So that's just a basic thing. Then I think it's an I always forget the name of that fucking game series. The one that uses the hooks.
Just Cause.
Yes, I think in Just Cause 4 really said they're going to be fully destructive weather systems, like you'll get like actual tornadoes kicking about. So the idea of you get an actual world in which natural disasters occur, and they actually do affect the story to a point where the story has to then adapt. So say you get a warlord in this one camp, right, and then there's maybe like a flood or some shit. So that means that warlord gets taken out, but then the story automatically adapts, so his territory, whatever, gets shifted over there. So that way it doesn't stop a quest line.
Yeah.
But it does mean if you've planned like for hours to take on this one camp, then you're like, oh, fuck. And then now you need to go to this other place, then try and figure out how the fuck to take him on. So the idea of the game altering the story over time seems really interesting to me.
I agree, yeah. I think that is definitely something that I could see happening with particularly action RPGs.
Mm-hmm.
Things like Elder Scrolls Fallout,
Yeah.
because they are open world where anything can happen.
Mhm.
Like, one thing that I would say, like playing one of the Bethesda RPGs, is don't fast travel anywhere, because there's so many random events. I mean, all of them are scripted,
Yeah.
but they're not scripted to happen at a specific time. They'll just happen randomly.
Mhm.
And like that, if they could incorporate weather to do things like that as well, where it would change up the map, change up the people in the game world, whether their status of being alive, dead, and how many of their, if they're a top guy with an army behind them, how much of their army is still there afterwards. It would mean we would have to adapt, and I mean, don't get me wrong, I like playing a game where I'm looking over something and going, right, how do I do this? I played Alpha Protocol.
Yeah, that was a good game.
The espionage RPG.
I fucking loved that. It was so cool.
And I would have two save files for it.
Shocker. Fucking shocker.
And the second save file, the first save file is this is the game. And my second save file, I would save just before every mission and go in and just, I wouldn't even try and complete it. I would just have a wee poke around and then go back to my main save file and go, right, I know what I'm doing.
Got you.
Like, I mean, the AI in it, they're not predetermined paths or anything. Their paths are, they've got kind of generated pathways, but they don't have just the one, they've got a couple. So they could go anywhere along that path, but it does mean I know what route I'm taking, so that I'm not getting caught by watchtowers and stuff trying to get through a gate or whatever.
Yeah.
It means I know what the boundaries of the area that I'm in are, and I know the layout, and I can adapt my path through that as I keep an eye out on where everybody is and what way they're facing and what direction they're walking. I can adapt there, but I know roughly what direction I'm going. So, yeah. Also, I might use it a couple of times to try out the different. You get kind of intel and stuff.
Yeah.
In it, where you can either get things to happen outside of the compound that will cause there to be less guards.
Yeah.
Or you can have specific weapons that would be really handy in that mission, placed conveniently near the start for you to use. So, I would try out like different methods of doing it with those and see what not which is best, but which I'm most comfortable with.
Yeah.
Because playing games like that, I'm not particularly good with a sniper rifle. I'm very much go in with a shotgun and just blast everyone.
Opposite.
But should I feel a sniper rifle is the best option, I will still go with it.
Yeah.
So I do try, a couple of different methods, see what I'm most comfortable with, and then I'll adapt to the AI itself on the fly. But I get a rough idea of where I'm going, what I need to do to get to there, and what method works best for me.
Yeah.
It means I'm not just spending like all my points at this point on one certain bits of intel. If that's going to be the absolutely wrong choice for me.
Yeah.
I can I change it around and adapt it and see what happens.
Yeah. Also, just when you're talking there, for one final point, just because we, so since obviously we're talking about immersion, right? There's one thing that always, just because that's what you said, an idea of grinding for ages to level yourself up to hell.
Yeah.
Adaptive time. So if you take, like, for instance, ages grinding, right?
Yeah.
It affects the story.
Oh, there was a there was a game that done something kind of similar. It was one of the Deus Ex games.
Yeah, the first level.
First level.
Fucking didn't realise it, and then I was like, no. It was
A hostage situation.
Yeah.
And if you took too long dilly-dallying around and looking around everywhere and just exploring, you get a phone call going, yeah, they're all dead, well done.
You're just like, oh, fuck. No, if, like, for me, my logic would be, like,
just have the AI shout at you, you useless prick.
No, not even that. It's more of like a grand scale. Sorry. More of a grand scale. Like, say just over the course of your playthrough, right? If you've done it within like 4 hours, it'd be like a good standard fight land, like final battle, like 1-on-1. But say you I don't imagine you probably do all side missions, uber grind, you got like 90, 100 hours. You'd have to fight for a fucking army, because the more time you've taken, the more time he's got, and as such, he's been able to get to a higher position. Yeah,
do you know something? I would love that, and it would annoy me at the same time.
Yeah. So you're like,
because I don't actually spend all that much time grinding. I spend a butt ton of time doing side missions.
Yeah, exploring the entirety of the world.
Exploring. I talk to damn near every NPC in any RPG I play.
Definitely.
You know, so I do as much as I can, but I don't actually grind all that much.
Just the actual nature of exploring means you're gonna get more fights. Yeah, and it takes more time. So
yeah, but like playing FF7, 8, 9, 10, for example, I don't particularly spend a lot of time just running in circles waiting for a random encounter to fight for experience points. I'll do it a wee bit in Final Fantasy X if I've got the capture weapons on, because the monster arena.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, and you've got to capture 10 of each of everything in an area, and then you can fight. Then you've got like a boss based on that area, and then if you catch like all of the wolf type enemies and all of the insect type enemies, you get like original creations and things like that.
Okay.
Where they're super powerful and based on that type of enemy and stuff. And yeah, I love just unlocking all of these things, fighting them, see what they're like, and I'm not a pure completionist.
No, but you're just like exploring.
But I love to explore everything in the game, because even just the small things in a game, they're not just created on a whim. You know, a lot of thought's been put into everything in a game, and they all take time to create. So I like to take the time to enjoy everything that's been created in this game world for me to find. Yeah, you know, I don't know. It's my way of saying thank you to the developers, is spending as much time in the game world and find out as much as I can about it, because they've put in all that hard work, and sometimes it does just go unnoticed or missed, and because sometimes it is really just the smallest thing, you know. So
no Easter eggs and things, just little references. You're like, huh, sound. Yeah,
or even just small details, like just the way they've done something differently than what I would have imagined they would have done, and if it was another company that done it, or you know, like it's just those things, you know, just companies putting their own wee stamp on it, or just making these wee details just so things look nicer. They don't even need to be like Easter eggs or hidden or anything. It's just ways they make things look nicer as well. You know,
no effort put in. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that might be us for the topic, actually, unless you've thought up of another point.
No, just idea like come like 10, 20 years online, games, if any of what we've talked about come true, it'll be fucking solid.
Yeah.
Or it's just gonna be
it'll be the hardest game ever,
but the fucking most
beautiful world ever, and you will get lost in there.
Which means if my idea of it, at the time comes around, the guy will be an emperor at the end of the fight, and you'll be like, fuck, I spent too long looking at leaves. Why leaves? Why? And fucking tornadoes and hurricanes and all, for fuck.
Yeah. But that's the nature of gaming. I mean, I like to think gaming is an art form now.
Oh, fucking is, man. Except Fortnite. It's cartoons. In a bad way.
Even Fortnite.
No.
Even Fortnite.
No.
Because PvE is fantastic.
Ugh.
That's the only bit of the game you actually need to pay for. And it's the best bit of the game. Funnily enough, that, eh? Anyway, let's jump into some news. Why don't we start off with some... we were talking about how worlds are going to get more beautiful in games.
Yup.
And we've seen that happening in games as it is.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment with the God of War, the world building, that looks fantastic.
Get to play it. So desperate to play it.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Mm-hmm. Even Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah. Spider-Man's New York City looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I've been enjoying web swinging through New York City lately. And not even that. Like I've been playing a fair amount of racing games lately.
Yeah.
Like GT Sport. See, especially when you're playing it in VR, when you can actually take the time, especially if you're coming down the back straight at the Nürburgring, and you can just like look around. Like everything's like, it's a racing game. As long as you make the track right, you're pretty much golden.
Yeah.
But even that is based on a real world location, and they've managed to, while not make it look exactly the same out with the confines of the track, they have managed to make it look pretty damn good.
All right.
But with games, except from GT Sport, we've been seeing the inclusion of photo mode. And I've actually been enjoying a wee bit of photo mode. I think I've sent you a couple of my snaps on Spider-Man through PlayStation Message.
Nah, people's notifications. Fuck, my bad. I'll check it. As long as they're not pure artsy ones you did of like your racing games. This is me in the course in the black and white motif.
Don't you mean the one that I did in Australia with the train, where I was in the cell where I had two Ferraris and a McLaren behind me, and I used the pop art feature? That
was it. Yep. Your very artsy gaming idea.
Oh, of course I've done stuff like that. Why wouldn't you if you've got a photo mode?
See, I get it in some cases. Like Spider-Man, it makes sense. His fucking job as a photographer.
Yeah.
Logic.
Also, I tried to make it look as much like a comic book front page as I could, a comic cover.
Oh, okay, that's even interesting. But like, I think we mentioned earlier, or we were talking about it earlier, the idea of it coming across in God of War, which just seems mental.
Yeah.
Like, was it like, I've not played it, so I'm not 100% sure how it comes in. It's like a god power or some shit.
I don't know. I've not actually played God of War myself either.
It's just like, it's like a really odd thing to have in an otherwise action-based game.
I think it's just a pause menu function, to be fair.
Oh, right, fair enough then.
I'm going to admit, I do believe it's just a pause menu function.
It just seems pure random as well, though.
But we all knew that we were getting Baymax as a summon in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
Well, they've released a trailer showing off the Big Hero 6 world.
Still needs a sequel.
San Francisco. I always thought it was called San Fran Tokyo, to be fair, but it's San Francisco.
Yeah, it's meant to be a pure mix of the two, as opposed to actually having Tokyo in it.
So, they did a trailer showing off that, and Sora's gummy phone, in which he can take selfies.
See, at least logically in that, it's... Bro, take a drink.
Sorry.
But at least in that, it's like real world logic. You've got a phone.
Yeah.
A phone to take pictures now. So it's not like a pure, whoa, it's more of a, oh, cool.
Yeah, and there is also new box art. The box art has also been shown off.
Okay, except you can find it.
Which I couldn't find. Which was illustrated by the series director Tetsuya Nomura.
All right.
Who designed the characters for 7 onwards, for Final Fantasy 7 onwards.
Ah, okay, cool.
After replacing Yoshitaka Amano.
Mm-hmm.
Although Yoshitaka Amano is still involved with the Final Fantasy series, he just does the box art for the Final Fantasy games now.
Ah, okay. Damn.
You know the typeface and the design?
Yeah.
He's done all of them since Final Fantasy 4. and when they re-released Final Fantasies 1, 2 and 3 on the GBA, he went back and retroactively done them as well.
Not bad.
Which is actually something I'm talking about in a series of videos I'm currently working on.
Ah, okay.
Which is not why I know it. I knew it before that.
Just
I'm just showing off some of the knowledge that I shall be passing on to that video series.
You're not gonna name and drop your video series?
What was the nickname you gave me?
Fuck, it was a gaming librarian or something. Gaming chronicler.
The gaming librarian. The video game historian.
That one. That sounds better.
So yeah, I'm
gaming librarian.
But yes, I'm currently working on season 1. Every season is going to be a different amount of episodes depending on how much there is to talk about.
Okay.
But season 1 is going to be covering Final Fantasy.
So basically, what it's going to be, 300 episodes. Fuck.
I've currently narrowed it down to about 19.
Oh, for fuck, man.
And that is just because there is so many things to talk about. Like I'm trying to do it in as small portions as I can.
Like, what are you covering per thing, just so to give the listeners at home an idea of what to expect?
Well, I've just finished writing episodes 1 and 2.
Right.
Episode 1 is a brief overview of Final Fantasy as a series.
Bear in mind they don't fall into each other. How the fuck are you going to do that? I'm so confused.
Just talking about key people behind the series, how the series got started, where the series is now, things that have been recurring through all the games.
Okay.
So things like the magic system, even though they change the magic system every now and again,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that there's a magic system,
In general,
basically that classes.
mm-hmm.
While some of the newer games don't have specific classes,
Which is a bit of a letdown. I didn't like it.
Characters will generally follow an archetype of a class.
Yeah.
Based on their looks and the weapons they use, although they can learn skills and abilities outside of that class.
They'll still be kind of referenced as blah blah blah.
Obviously Yoshitaka Amano's artwork,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Episode 2, I'm doing Final Fantasy 1 and the 2 versions of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest.
Okay.
There's a European version and an American version.
All right.
One of them became Sword of Mana, which is part of the Secret of Mana series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently working on episode 3, which is Final Fantasies 2 and 3. I'll be talking about every mainline Final Fantasy game through to 15.
Yeah.
I'll be doing an episode talking about some of the spin-offs. One of the episodes where I'm talking about every mainline game, I'm dedicating it to the chronology of FF7.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be talking about Final Fantasy 7, Dirge of Cerberus, Crisis Core, Before Crisis, Advent Children.
Damn.
It's going to be a very deep dive into FF7. We're going to do an episode looking at the artwork of Yoshitaka Amano.
Mm-hmm.
Just things like that. We're going to talk about what could be in the future, because there's been rumours circling around that Type O is getting a sequel and is actually becoming a universe of its own, built within the Final Fantasy 13 universe.
Fuck, now I need to finish that pretty quick.
And it's going to be called... the universe is called Type Next, but the next game will either be called Type Next or Type 1. I'm not sure yet. I've seen rumours with both, but even then, I don't even know if there is a game coming out.
Yeah.
I've not completed the game myself.
It was pretty good. Just one of those things you like. Okay, I played a bit of it. It was all right. Oh, look, there's another game, and then you're fucked.
I kind of kept dropping in and out of it, and just couldn't play it consistently enough, and that was the problem with it for me.
Well, it's a bit of a
same
big
as
departure
FF12,
from standard. Yeah.
It was the same as FF12. I couldn't get myself to keep playing it.
Mm-hmm.
I kept dropping in and out of it, but I will finish them one day.
Yeah, one day.
But yeah, that's the kind of things we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the development of the games, graphically, engine, sound, all of that. The setting, the plot. We're going to talk about the legacy, reception, things that it's done. Like I spoke a wee bit of in the first episode, the innovation within Final Fantasy that is spread throughout RPGs in general.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go a bit more deeper into what each game has done,
Mm-hmm.
if anything, on the episodes where I'm talking about them specifically. I'm trying to do two or three games at most per episode.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do 2 an episode, but obviously Final Fantasy VII chronology, that's about 5 games, but it all counts as a chronology of the one. I'm doing 10, 10, 2 together. I'm doing the 3 games for Final Fantasy 13. I'm doing the trilogy as a whole. Final Fantasy 14 I'm doing on its own because that's the MMO, as well as 11 I'm doing that on its own as well. And for the spin-off games, I'm not really going to go too deep into that. Because there is about 1,000,001 of them. So yeah, I'm just gonna do as much as I can to go into the history of the game and how it's developed and all of that stuff. I'm really excited for it. Obviously Final Fantasy is my favourite franchise, and it made perfect sense to start there since it is my favourite.
Yeah.
Because I've got quite a lot of the knowledge that I need for that, and I don't have to do too much research.
Always helps though.
Yeah, I'm still researching everything just to double check all my information and all that. But a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about is knowledge I already have anyway. So
yeah,
I don't need to do too much research. I don't need to if I spoke about something like Call of Duty, I would have to do tons and tons of research. And the only reason I picked that off the top of my head is because it's sitting right in front of me, like on the can of Monster I'm drinking.
Right, fair enough. It's looking at you. Judging you. So yeah, that's why I'm starting with that. Yeah.
And I'm always looking for input from people, what they want to hear about as I continue on through the series. Every season of it is going to be different lengths depending on how much there is to talk about. Because if someone goes, talk about XCOM, that might be about a wee bit shorter than the Final Fantasy one.
Just about.
But if someone turned around to me and went, talk about Katamari Damacy, that would probably be a 1 episode season, because I could probably just cover that all in 1 episode, you know? So it does depend on what I'm talking about. I mean, if I was to talk about Sonic and or Mario,
that'd be a bit longer.
That would be at least the same length as the Final Fantasy one, if not longer. Yeah,
one's more of a success story, or one's a bit like a...
Yeah. So I'm not just focusing on games or franchises, consoles, developers, publishers as well. So I could talk about Nintendo, and I could talk about Nintendo as a game developer, a game publisher, a console manufacturer, all of the above, or just select parts of that.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of scope for what to talk about, and instead of just talking about just starting from the beginning and coming to now, I'm breaking it down into chunks where it is easier to follow. Instead of talking about one thing and then jumping on to something else the next episode. I will be doing that obviously, but instead of jumping from like Final Fantasy to Tekken, I'm like all of Final Fantasy, then I'll do something else after that. I think season 2 is going to be talking about Bandai Namco. So a wee bit about Bandai, a wee bit about Namco, and then more of everything since the merger.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
So that's what I'm working on just now. I'll decide if I'm doing that for definite once I've finished the Final Fantasy series.
Only thing I would say, obviously, since it's was it a gaming historian?
The video game historian.
Yeah. So just make sure you pick a series of a good amount of history as well. Yeah,
well, obviously Final Fantasy is a good place to start because that has been around since 1987.
Yeah, so that's one of all these.
So
Mario and Sonic again as well. We've got enough.
Mario and Sonic.
Going back, it works.
And also, I really want to do a season talking about Nintendo as a console developer. I might do them as a games developer and a games publisher, but definitely as a console manufacturer.
Yeah.
I just want to rant and rave about the Switch for an hour.
Oh my god.
I love my Switch. It's a fantastic console. No, I do really think talking about Nintendo as a console manufacturer would be a really interesting one because they aren't your standard console manufacturer. They don't just go out and build the most powerful console they can. You know, they do go out and they try to innovate how we play games. They've done it with the Wii. They've done it with the Switch.
Yeah.
And they'll probably do it again with whatever they try to do next. They tried to do that with VR back in the days of the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
It didn't work. But the fact is,
You tried it.
Nintendo were trying to enhance our gaming experience before the tech was even ready. And the fact that they want to do that is a reason why, as a console developer, I've always been a bit of a Nintendo fan.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, I like my bigger games,
Yeah.
you know, and I don't mean bigger games as in like big name games,
No,
but size-wise.
Yeah.
Which is why I opted for the PlayStation 1 over the N64,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that the CDs could hold bigger games, which would have a longer playtime.
Yeah,
Over the cartridges.
I was just like, okay. I'll
So,
take what I get.
I mean, I knew that when I was, 7, 8? So, it was a...
I was more like, ooh, moving pictures. Button, where's the button?
But mentioning Nintendo there,
Yeah.
the classic Sega Genesis games or Mega Drive for us UK folk,
Mhm.
although I still prefer calling it the Genesis.
No.
Yes.
No.
There's a 50 plus game bundle which is coming to the Nintendo Switch. This is not a new bundle. This is already out for PS4, Xbox One. They released March this year,
Okay.
and the PC version's been on Steam. Has even more titles than the PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch version will have.
Yeah.
And that's been out since 2010.
Oh, well. There you go then.
The game's called Sega Genesis Classics.
Mm-hmm.
It will be about 30 quid.
Not bad, not bad.
And there's over 50 games included, but I've just got a small list of ones here. Some well-known ones, some not so well-known, and the ones that are well-known are pretty much classics.
Yeah.
Altered Beast,
Nice.
Bonanza Bros is
No
on
clue.
there, Comics Zone,
No kill.
which is a fantastic game, by the way.
Okay.
If you do get it, try Comic Zone.
Okay.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Nope.
It's kind of like Tetris or what's it called? Yoshi, the original Yoshi game.
Okay.
But Sonic based, because Dr. Robotnik is Dr. Eggman.
Yeah.
Galaxy Force 2.
Nope.
Golden Axe 1 through 3.
Heard of, but more the PlayStation.
It's kind of side scrolling.
Okay.
Beat 'em up, but it's set kind of back the ways.
Back the way it is.
Where you use axes and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was guitars.
Kid Chameleon.
No.
I believe it was a platformer game.
All right.
Fantasy Star 2,
Yup.
3, and 4. Shinobi 3, Return of the Ninja
Heard
Master.
of Shinobi.
Sonic and Sonic 2.
Yeah.
Streets of Rage 1, 2, 3.
Even
obvious
bigger, yeah.
classics. And Virtua Fighter 2, which is a fantastic fighting game, which is kind of fallen by the wayside to the likes
Yeah.
of Tekken, Soul Calibur, Street Fighter.
R.I.P.
Talking about Soul Calibur.
Ew.
Talking about Soul Calibur. That was two amazing segues and three things there.
See,
Man.
you're not meant to be shocked. You're meant to think, okay, no, I planned it this way.
I did not plan that.
Shut up. Just let it happen. Let it happen.
So we've got two new Soul Calibur 6 characters revealed in the last week, I think. They were announced at the Tokyo Game Show, and it's Raphael Sorel, who uses the rapier known as Flambert.
Okay.
And it was Cervantes as well.
Liar. I am a pirate.
Yes. So that takes our roster up to 20 characters.
Oofed.
And I think we've announced all of them on this podcast. Not this particular episode of the podcast, but on the podcast as time has gone on since the game's been announced. I think we've announced them all.
I think we did try.
But
on new fuel.
if this is your first time listening and you want to know who the characters are and you don't know yourself, as well as Raphael and Cervantes, the other returning fighters are Astaroth, Taki, Talum, Ivy, Zasalmal, Sophitia, Mitsurugi, Voldo, Seong Min-na, Nightmare, Jinghua, Yoshimitsu, Siegfried, and Kilik. We've got 2 newcomers as well in Groch
Okay.
and Geralt of Riviera
Woo-hoo.
is coming as a guest character. They have said there might be another guest character.
All right.
So we'll see if it's going to be like a console exclusive one again. Like we had I can't remember who was the PlayStation one. I think it might have been Heihachi. But you had Spawn and Link for Xbox and GameCube respectively.
Yeah.
For Soul Calibur 2. And for Soul Calibur 5 you had Vader and Yoda.
Hold on, wait. You said the Heihachi. Not Heihachi. What? Fuck. Who did you say came in for the first one you said? Fuck.
Spawn.
No, before that.
Link.
Before that.
Heihachi.
Yeah, what one's that again?
PlayStation. Tekken.
Who is he again?
He's the old guy.
Right,
Kazuya's dad.
so how the fuck's he coming to? I thought Soul Calibur's all about weapons. That's the weapon.
Bandai Namco.
Uh-huh.
They make both Tekken and
No,
Soul
I
Calibur.
get that. I mean,
It's a crossover.
yeah, but
That's
if he
all.
doesn't have a weapon, he needs a weapon. Soul Calibur is all about weapons.
Not everyone in Soul Calibur has a weapon.
Pretty much all of them do.
I'm pretty sure there's a character who doesn't have a weapon in Soul Calibur.
Who?
I can't remember.
Apart from Heihachi, apparently. Just
Um,
walking into like, I'll hold my sandals.
I can't remember. Okay. But I'm pretty sure Heihachi was the guest character in the PS2 version.
Lame. The only thing that annoys me was like the idea of latest Tekken games got Negan.
Yeah.
Logically, he would have been better in Soul Calibur. He's got a fucking bat. I mean, come on.
Well, he could also be coming in Soul Calibur.
That'd be so weird.
It would be, but
Double booked.
but we might get.
Have you got Rick? That wouldn't work. He's got a gun. I don't care. No, I love that. Combined franchises.
We might get another guest character. We don't know for sure yet, but they have been teasing that there might be another one coming up soon.
I don't
And
think anyone.
people who have been listening will know that takes us only up to 19, because we also have Soul Calibur 3's Tira returning as a DLC post-release.
That stuff sounds random.
Yeah.
The way they've done it just sounds.
They hadn't even announced the full roster, but they're already announcing DLC characters.
Yeah, it seems like a poor way of going about it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm still excited. I love me some Soul Calibur.
I think I'd rather start playing Soul Calibur than Tekken.
There is one thing that Tekken has over Soul Calibur, though.
Bowling.
Tekken Bowling.
Yeah.
Tekken Bowl.
That was insane, man.
Tekken 7 has it.
Does it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So Soul Calibur is coming to PS4, PC, and Xbox One. That comes out October 19th. So that's about 2 weeks from now. Ish.
Oh, not bad.
2 weeks, 6 days.
Cool.
Ish. Maybe. I don't know. What date is it today?
The
2nd.
Yeah, second. Go for second. I'd still say in
2
terms
weeks and 7 days. 3 weeks.
Still say in terms of fighting games, the best and still always going to be Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat's fucking sick, man.
I like Mortal Kombat, but I was always better at Tekken and Soul Calibur. I must admit.
Just fuck Tekken. I got so bored of Tekken. I think just the lack of like damage, just like fireworks every time you punch. You're like, could he not? Could he no?
Anyway.
Yeah, before like going a pure rant fest.
Sony have followed Nintendo in the way of going with the throwback consoles and are releasing the PlayStation Classic.
The little big daddy.
It is going to be about 40% smaller, 45% smaller than a standard PS1.
Alright.
Now,
okay.
this is like the original PS1. Like, I used to have one that was substantially smaller than a PS1, and it was called the PS1.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's going to be 20 games on it,
Mm-hmm.
and 5 of them have already been announced.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII,
Nice.
Jumping
Classic.
Flash,
No idea.
R4 or Ridge Racer Type 4.
Heard of Red Racer, don't know
It's a
about it.
fantastic game.
Okay. Cool.
I love me some Ridge Racer. So it's a throwback. You know, I used to play Ridge Racer before I found Gran Turismo. Tekken 3.
I'll give Tekken 3 because I remember back when I was like 14, 15, I just stayed all night going through the story modes, every character getting all the stories, and which by the end of it I fucking passed out. I was like, Yes! Yes! Oh, no happy achievements.
It's kind of an obscure one over here, I think, because I've not really seen it sold much anywhere. But it's a JRPG called Wild Arms, and I do remember playing it. I just don't remember seeing it selling in many places back then. But it was a fantastic game.
I can't even remember like buying like PS1 games.
So on the PlayStation blog,
Mm-hmm.
they've said all of the preloaded games will be playable in their original format.
Oh, and it says that like as in it not being updated or what?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
They'll be as was released originally.
Does that mean for something like cheat codes they can still use them?
If it's things like the Konami code, like up, down, down,
Yeah, that kind of shit. Yeah.
But if talking about using things like the Exploder or the Game Shark or things like that, because it doesn't have the parallel port it would plug into.
I never got the whole point of actually pure plug-in cheats. No, for me, just okay, how was it? Up, down, 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 yeah, up, down, up, no, yeah, that shit.
Yeah, you can still use codes that you've physically put in.
Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. Some of those cheats were just epic.
So it's going to cost about £90, $100, €100.
For it as a console and 20 games, it's not exactly bad.
Or 10,000 yen if you're in Japan.
Like straight up, money logic does not make sense over there. That sounds staggering, and I was like, no, it's only £90. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know. So for that, you'll get the system, 2 controllers. Now they're going to be replicas, full-size replicas of the original controller. So not the DualShock. So there's no rumble feature. There's no analog sticks.
The rumble isn't even that good, to be fair.
The rumble wasn't good back then, but that is the original one. They are USB, but they'll plug into the same spot as the original system's ports. There's no memory cards. There's the memory card slot, but it doesn't open or anything.
Aww.
It's there for decoration only.
Yeah, nostalgia value.
Save files are stored on a virtual memory card.
Like cloud?
No, in the
So internal memory.
internal memory.
Just because it said virtual memory, I was like, the fuck?
The replica buttons on the top do have actual functions. Powers up,
Shockingly.
The open button allows you to swap virtual disks.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, at the end of disc 1 of Final Fantasy, when you're moving into disc 2,
Yeah.
you would hit the button.
Oh, that sounds
And
pretty fun.
the reset button suspends games.
I'm still worried about the idea of like someone pressing the middle button and then you're fucked because the game's like spazzing out.
I'm sure they'll find a thing for just in case.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's going to include visual filters like on the NES and the SNES Classic to make it look like you're playing it on an old school telly.
No, I think it'd rather look a bit better, but still be the same game, if that makes sense.
So basically, if you were playing it on like a telly today, basically.
Yeah, I'd be happy with that.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, just it wouldn't really affect viewers at home, but just because you said it was so much smaller, I was like that size kind of thing, or
It's smaller than that.
well,
You're looking at about that size.
okay, you might want to just explain what I did there. I would say the name of that thing, but fuck knows if I
He
remember.
pointed at my mixing disc.
Yeah, just because I was trying to get like a size comparison.
For anyone who is that way inclined, I use a Xenix Q 802 USB by Behringer.
Blah 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 blah. Behringer.
And for the microphones, we use Behringer XM 1800Ss.
S's. Okay, but yeah, so it's basically going to be tiny L.
But yeah, it's going to be 45% smaller. So think less than half the size.
Fucking hell. Do you feel like it sounds weird, but I think you'll be able to relate as well. Because we were younger when we last played it, the idea of like size comparison, I swear to God, if you pull one out, don't you dare pull one out.
What?
You are, no way.
Five percent smaller than
And
that.
Jack just pulled out an old school PlayStation 1. Oh God, the nostalgia. Fucking hell.
It's that yeah,
Oh man.
and that still works.
Oh, it's amazing. Ah, it's so cool.
But that's the parallel port I was talking about.
Right, cool.
It doesn't have for. Yeah. Anyway, we should probably continue on.
Yeah, so
Instead of you geeking out over my PlayStation, you can
it's so much. It's gonna be so fucking small though. Oh my god.
you can sit and look at it later.
I don't fucking will. Like, ooh, no, that's cool. Oh man, that's so cool.
So yeah, it's going to have all that.
Yeah.
It's only got 2 ports by the looks of it.
Yeah.
A HDMI port for audio and video, and a micro USB port for power.
Yeah.
It's going to have cables for them, but it's not going to have an AC charger. But a standard mobile mains to USB charger should do, as long as it's 5 volt 1 amp.
Oh fuck. Right, okay.
Most of the mobile phone chargers are 5 volt 1 amp anyway.
Okay, cool.
So you're probably going to be fine.
As long as the fucking plug in and goes, boom. Oh shit.
Yeah, you should be fine. There does appear to be a plastic cover over the rear of the system. That's where the parallel port used to be. On the one that I just showed Mark. Actually, it's there on the one I showed Mark. That's kind of where most of your things like your Exploder cheat cartridge is plugged in. But people believe, journalists who've seen the device, believe that it's possibly hiding an Ethernet port because they've not seen underneath it. So it could be people who on PS1 classics on things like PS3 and PS4. Yeah. Like I've got FF8 and 9 and 7, but FF7's already on it, so that's redundant. FF8 and 9 could be able to download that onto the system, perhaps, or it could be for expandable memory. So we'll see near the time, or it could just be for show.
Yeah, don't know. Who knows?
Talking about mini consoles, Sega is delaying its Mega Drive mini console or Genesis mini drive console, depending on which side of the pond you're on, to 1992. No.
Holy shit.
I think that's the year it originally came out.
Fucking hell. Went back in time. Man.
Wow. 2019 for a complete overhaul.
Okay.
Now, there is currently a Genesis or Mega Drive mini console out there, but it's made by At Games. It's not made by Sega. And it is licensed by Sega.
Right.
But it's not a bad Wii console, right? It has it comes with 2 IR controllers, which aren't great because, it's IR. It's like a TV remote. You have to point it at the thing.
Oh shit! Right. Okay.
But it has ports in the front for 2 original Genesis controllers. Unlike the NES and the SNES minis, there's a space at the top for the console, the cartridge port. The cartridge port actually works on this.
Okay.
And it does play cartridges. It plays select cartridges.
Okay, right.
However, emulate. This is where we get into the kind of downside of it. The emulation's not great. It can be a bit framey. It butchered the Sonic intro. Like the sound emulation was poor.
All right.
But at the same time, for something, if you don't think about the fact it's framey and the sound's not great, it's actually not a bad Wii console. Considering it's not an official Sega one. Yeah. Considering it's a third-party licensed one, it's not the worst I've seen, to be fair. But yeah, again, this will probably come with a lot of the games that are on the Sega Genesis Classics game that's coming out for the Switch this year and is already out for PS4, Xbox, and PC. But I think still having the mini console will be fun because you can play it with the original controller. And
I think it really depends on nostalgia. Like if you grew up playing it, then you can put proper into it. If you've never played one before, I wouldn't say it's a pure peg.
Also, it's going to look a lot more like the Genesis than the current one does as well.
Ah, okay, right.
So we'll see what happens there. Nobuo Uematsu is on sick leave from Square Enix just now due to burnout with burnout in sight. he's always composing new stuff, holding concerts, and he's nearly 60. He needs a bit of a rest. He's going to spend the rest of 2018 chilling out and resting and relaxing. He's going to spend a wee bit of time early 2019 doing so, but he really wants to get back to working on the soundtrack for FF7R.
Mm-hmm.
And if he doesn't get back to it,
we can get it.
It's understandable, but at the same time, if it's not Uematsu that's working on it, it's going to be noticeable because it's just not going to have his. It's not going to feel right without Nobuo Uematsu doing it.
No, in fact, it's just not going to sound the same.
Because I grew up obviously playing Final Fantasy, and it's always been Nobuo Uematsu doing the music for it. Like, even if he's not done the music for the whole game, he's at least done the intro theme. So yeah, he wants to get back to doing it once he's fully recovered, and I certainly hope he has a restful time getting back to where he wants to be. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does next, whether it is FF7R or if it's new music with his current group, the Earthbound Papas.
Fuck. Has there been any more update on 7R?
None that I've seen. There might have been that I've missed, but I've not really seen any recently. But I'm not surprised, to be fair.
They're definitely going to probably hold out on us until it's ready.
No, I think they're going to hold out on us until after Kingdom Hearts 3.
I get you. When's that again?
January. It was meant to be out in November, but it's been pushed back for it to be polished, finished up, and just make sure everything, because it's Square Enix. You know what they're like.
Perfectionists as well.
If it's not perfect, they're not going to release it. And yeah, so I do think that they're just waiting out. Just wait until after Kingdom Hearts 3.
Basically, they'd rather not have it overshadowed.
Yeah, because
cool.
Because they've got 3 big franchises really at the moment in the way of RPGs: Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and Dragon Quest.
Is that? Oh,
yep, that's Square Enix. Right.
They really cornered the fucking market, didn't they?
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, they've also got Star Ocean.
Is that? Oh, come on! No one's getting a fucking foot in, man.
Legend of Mana.
Well, yeah, but I thought it was a less famous one.
Yeah. They've got a fantastic one on the Switch called Octopath Traveler.
Fuck's sake.
They've got another one that's on the Switch and Steam called I Am Setsuna, which is really nice. It looks a lot like Legend of Mana.
Okay.
They've also got the Romancing Saga series. They've got a lot of RPG series because that's what Square Enix does best.
Yeah, no.
Telling great stories in a classic JRPG fashion.
Yeah, no, it is just the Square Enix fashion.
But yeah, no, they definitely have the only other real competitor just now is the Persona series in the way of the JRPG trend.
Yeah, I can't really think of any other standouts.
You've got the Tales games from Bandai Namco.
All right, yeah.
Valkyria Chronicles from Sega. Knights of Azure, which I don't know who does that one, but that's really popular at the moment, I believe. There are a lot of other ones. Phantasy Star.
Okay, yeah.
Which again is a Sega property, I believe. But yeah, the Sword Art Online games.
Okay, fine. No, so are quite a few on.
But
Jesus.
But yeah, like when it comes to by development company who makes the most franchises, it's
They're
definitely Square Enix.
Utterly dominating.
Because before the Square Enix merger, it was Final Fantasy versus Dragon Quest in Japan and in the West. Square made Final Fantasy, obviously.
Yeah. And
Enix made Dragon Quest. And then they merged and now they both make both.
Fuck's sake.
Yeah. So yeah. Yes. My vocabulary's gone to just yes. Continuing on. PlayStation Now is now offering downloads on PS4 and PS2 games. Unfortunately, due to hardware limitations, they can't do PS3 games. PS3 games don't run naturally in the PS4 architecture, so that was why the PS3 wasn't backwards compatible. The PS4 is technically backwards compatible with
right.
PS1 and PS2. Like, cause I think you can still play PS1 games on the PS4, like with a disc. I'm not sure. I haven't actually tried it.
I'm not so sure I would try it.
I'm pretty sure you can. You can't play PS2 games off of a disc.
All right.
I know that. That doesn't work.
Tried it?
Yeah.
All right.
Was
it just freak out and see nothing's inside, or?
It just said unrecognized disc.
All right.
It's either that or it does work and the disc is buggered. It's one or the other.
Always try to play at least 3 different games.
But you can download PS2 games onto your system through PS Now. PlayStation Now is a streaming service, much like Xbox Game Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And, pardon me, you can play PS3 games on PS4 using PlayStation Now, but you just can't download them on the system. You can stream them to the system.
Okay. Because
the emulator is streamed with it. I don't know why they can't just package it in an emulator and let you download it. Probably for space or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that it's not available to everyone, but compatibility is being rolled out over the next few days anyway.
Okay.
Almost all PS4 games in the service are downloadable. They're not specifying which ones are not, but I'm imagining it's the more recent ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Because not every PS4 game's on PS Now,
mm-hmm.
but the more recent ones that are on it probably won't be available for download yet. Remastered PlayStation 2 games are going to be able to download. You'll still be able to play PS3 games on it through the PlayStation Now streaming service. And yeah, it's a pretty good system. It saves your saved files in the cloud. Any DLC or microtransactions you purchase are saved to your user, so it doesn't really matter whether you actually own the game or not.
Mm-hmm.
It'll still work with all of that.
All right, cool.
PS4 Pro enhancements for the PS4 games. Anything that's PS4 Pro enhanced gets all the enhancements for that if you have a PS4 Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Online multiplayer does not require a PlayStation Plus subscription, but downloading games onto your PlayStation from PlayStation Now does. But if you don't have PlayStation Plus, you can still use PlayStation Now as long as you're only streaming it.
Right, okay.
It costs £85 a year, or is £13 a month, and it's not a bad service. I would say it's a wee bit overpriced.
It does sound a bit, to be honest.
But at the same time, you are getting over 500 titles for PS2, 3 and 4.
Mm.
So at the same time, if you have the time to play a lot of the games that are on it, or there's a lot of games on it that you like, it could be worth it. But I would say it's just £3 too much. I think it would be perfectly priced at a tenner.
I think
a tenner a month, I think it would be perfectly priced.
I think the issue I've got is, like, well, it says 500 titles. Imagine a good chunk of them would be absolute shit, though. Like, just
they could well be. I know Red Dead's on it. I know Bully's on it. The Yakuza series on it.
The ones I'd be interested in playing are purely just because they're a bit older, but they haven't had any good updates yet. Big Legacy of Kain.
I can't remember if Legacy of Kain's on it or not. It could well be.
Because those games were pretty solid.
Yeah, there's a mass variant of games. That's where I was recently playing Alpha Protocol on it.
Yeah.
And I was playing Yakuza 4, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I was playing RDR, Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, yeah, okay. Your acronyms, man. Fuck yeah, man.
And then there was also, like, that, like, obviously Red Dead Redemption is the second game, and Red Dead Redemption 2 is the third game, because they're both sequels of Red Dead Revolver.
Did not know that.
Yeah, and that's also on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games on there. It's just if you have the time to play them. I personally would say if it was a tenner, it would be definitely worth getting. £3. I feel it's a wee bit overpriced at £13, but that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, there's not enough RPGs on there to keep me happy. No,
Jesus.
no,
Hard to please, man.
of course. No, it's a good service. It's certainly better than Nintendo Switch Online is at the moment.
Oh, wow. Finally, a negative comment towards the Switch.
Nintendo Switch Online is a decent service, but again, it's cheaper than PlayStation Now, and it's only my only issue with it is you get about 20 NES games, and that's it. And you can't really play them with a single Joy-Con. You have to use like the Joy-Con grip or with both the Joy-Cons hooked into the console, unless you get the NES controllers.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me, I like the games that are on it. I like having Nintendo Switch Online because it means I can now play online as well. Games like Overcooked, Mario Kart. But yeah, no, it's also like, I think it's only like £3 a month.
That is actually really decent.
Although I'm paying £36 a year, because I've got the family subscription for myself with Vet and Paz.
Oh fuck! Right, okay.
So I'm paying for 3 of us, and it works out. I think it works out less than £3 for all of us a month, doing it that way. So
yeah,
it's not so bad. Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy is coming to the PC, PS4, Switch, and the Xbox One. That's going to be early 2019. There's no official release date yet, but it is Q1 2019.
Okay.
So you're going to get Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, Justice for All, and Trials and Tribulations. These were originally released on the GBA, but have since been released on Android, iOS, 3DS, and they have had multiple spin-offs.
Oofed.
They've the Phoenix Wright series has had many spin-offs. There's no pricing for it announced, but I don't imagine it'll be overly expensive. I imagine it'll probably be about £25-30. I'm guessing.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's gonna be fantastic. I'm playing Dual Destinies just now, and it's really good.
Okay.
The game Vampire is getting a new story mode, which de-emphasizes combat. And it's going to work essentially like Mass Effect's narrative or casual difficulty mode, where it does focus more on the story rather than on combat, which, do you know what, I'm okay with that. Obviously, being someone who wants to just dive into a story, I like games with combat, obviously. Especially if the combat's nice and fluid. And yeah, but for people who don't like much of the combat, they can change it in a very story-driven game. Well, it's already a story-driven game, but even more so. Or if you do like a challenge, there is hard mode, which brings more difficulty to the combat. So yeah, it is. I say it's coming. It's already here.
For fuck's sake.
It was released on September 26th, so last week.
Smooth.
Yes. Cross-platform plays finally on the PS4. We've been asking for it forever, but unfortunately for folk like myself and Mark, it's only a fortnight.
Oh no! So sad.
Well, do you know what? It means I can play Fortnite at work.
You meant to be working?
I'm not meant to be working on my break.
I'm
meant to be having my lunch. But no.
Curiosity, do you get like a discount or is it free? At your work?
I got a discount.
Oh, cool.
I don't get it for free.
Oh, alright. Kinda sucks.
Nah, gotta make money somehow.
Like, good discount or just alright discount?
Good discount.
Nice.
I daren't say on show.
Privileged secrets.
Yep. So John Codera wrote on the PlayStation blog, the first step will be an open beta beginning today for Fortnite that will allow for cross-platform play, progression and commerce across PS4, Android, iOS, Switch, Xbox One, Windows and Mac operating systems. We see the beta as an opportunity to conduct thorough testing that ensures cross-platform play is best on PlayStation, while being mindful about the user experience from both a technical and social perspective. So this is a big thing because after E3, when Fortnite was announced for Switch, Sony said, no, you can't play with folk on the Switch, and anyone who's previously played using an Epic account on PlayStation could not sign in to anything other than PlayStation or PC on Fortnite. You were locked out of Xbox, in fact you could sign into iOS as well. You were locked out of Xbox and Switch. A lot of people kicked up because obviously Switch is not just a home console, but it's gaming on the go. It's a portable console, and it wasn't really a big thing for folk on Xbox because if you own an Xbox and a PlayStation, you're not going to have Fortnite on both of them.
Yeah.
You're very unlikely to have Fortnite on both of them. So, that's I think it's fantastic. Others in the industry argued that it was probably due to monetary concerns or because they're winning the console race and don't want people jumping ship to Xbox and blah, 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 blah. But many publishers, including Bethesda, have been pressuring Sony about this change. Developers like Psyonix have already spoken openly about how easily they could implement it from their end. Psyonix, by the way, make Rocket League,
okay.
which was the game built to be cross-platform.
Oh, right, okay.
There's little information about how the beta will work or how to sign up. It just said selected third-party content will be playable across different platforms. But it is a change in the industry that Sony could not continue to ignore. And it's a change that Sony could not continue to deny the fans, well, their players, lest what happens to Microsoft after their E3 unveiling of the Xbox One, with its always online DRM and having to be connected to the Switch, caused loads of people to jump to PlayStation. Like,
not just because it's a better console, obviously.
Even though they changed their minds and went, no, we're not going to do that anymore. The damage had been done. Anyone who jumped ship to PlayStation was staying with PlayStation from that point.
Wonder why.
And if Sony do something similar next gen, on the unveiling of the PS5,
is that going to be called?
It could. The PS5, yeah. It's the Xbox One that I'm curious about.
Yeah.
Xbox Next, Xbox 2, Xbox 720.
Maybe like just the X1.
Yeah. Or the Xbox 4. Because that's what it will be.
Maybe just go back to Xbox.
Who knows? We'll see what happens.
X Cube.
Codera says, continuing on, today the communities around some games have evolved to the point where cross-platform experiences add significant value to players. In recognition of this, we have completed a thorough analysis of the business mechanics required to ensure that the PlayStation experience for our users remains intact today and in the future as we look to open up the platform. Later on, Sean Lydon, Chief Executive of Sony Interactive Entertainment Worldwide Studios, discussed the beta and crossplay on PlayStation Blogcast. He said that allowing console crossplay was not about flipping a switch. It's very multi-dimensional, and it took longer than I would have wanted, but it took as long as it had to. He says following the beta, he expects the PS4 will see other games supporting cross-console play. Certainly once they can prove it's holding together sturdy and well, I would anticipate seeing other games in the service. I imagine things like Formula 1, that's got a big player base on PC and Xbox
Mhm.
as well as PlayStation.
Yeah.
And for people who do things like sim racing, it's going to open it up to that a lot. FIFA, a popular game worldwide, that'll get the cross-platform treatment surely.
Mhm.
The only one I see maybe an issue with is Minecraft,
Okay.
mostly because that's a Microsoft game,
Ah, get you.
and with the exception of the PlayStation version, you need a Microsoft account to play.
Huh.
Well, at least online.
Mhm.
You can play online on the PSN servers without a Microsoft thing.
Yeah.
So they would maybe be a bit iffy about making you get maybe having their players get a account for the rival, the rival system to play a game on their own system.
Mhm.
You know, who knows? I may be wrong, but I don't know. Because I mean, crossplay is something we've been wanting for a while, and I think because Bethesda were saying that they weren't going to release Fallout 76 on PlayStation unless there was cross-platform.
Mhm.
And I imagine now that that's happening, it's going to make Fallout 76 a whole lot better.
You'd hope.
Hope
Definitely,
so.
you'd hope.
I imagine BioWare will make Anthem cross-platform as well.
Yeah, I can see them doing that.
I imagine a lot of the games where online is a feature, if it's on multiple platforms, we're going to see it go cross-platform.
Just a fully open, fully immersive online
Yeah.
experience as opposed to just restrained to one.
Yeah, and what I think you're going to now see next year with, not next year, but next gen, is if this stays the way it is, your PlayStation players who have been there since the PS1
Mm-hmm.
are going to stick with PlayStation. Your Xbox players who would rather have the Xbox over the PlayStation, buying every Xbox since the original Xbox, will buy an Xbox. Your Nintendo folk will buy whatever Nintendo put together,
Mm-hmm.
probably the Switch 2.0 or something. And your PC players will just put a new graphics chip in next gen.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we'll see as much of a console war.
Just more of a community kind of thing.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, with things like exclusives and stuff, Sony are winning. So this is how Sony are been winning this generation's console war, at least.
Mm-hmm.
It's not because of what I mentioned. Like, it's not because of the DRM issue that I mentioned earlier with Xbox's, Microsoft's E3 unveil of the Xbox One. It's just the amount of good exclusives Sony are getting.
Yeah.
Because I mean, think about the exclusives you've had this year: Spider-Man,
Epic as fuck.
God of War,
Epic
Horizon Zero. I think this one might have been last year, but Horizon Zero
as fuck. Yeah,
Dawn.
still epic as fuck.
Gran Turismo Sport.
More your speed.
That was a fantastic exclusive racing game.
There you go.
But you've got Forza Horizon 4 for Xbox, which again, a fantastic racing exclusive.
Okay.
And yeah, they're both fantastic. But having seen both, I've played GT Sport, but having seen both of them, I would still opt for Gran Turismo. I do like the idea of the open world nature of Forza Horizon 4,
Mm-hmm.
and it looks so fantastic. But I still prefer the whole track-based game. And don't get me wrong, Forza Horizon 4 has tracks in it.
Yeah.
But I still definitely prefer GT Sport, especially because it's, VR.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just me. That's us done with our scripted part of the news.
Scripted, so to speak, yeah.
So to speak, where we have notes. There are two more that I'd like. I want to talk about them.
Cool. One thing, just to clarify, you're talking about cross-platform, right? Would that count as well as, like, say, in Division, right? You build a team. Would that work in the same manner? You could end up having a team comprised of, like, a PlayStation user, an Xbox user, and a PC user, or no? Switch user?
Yeah, you could. Well, not Switch because it's
not
not coming out on Switch.
Oh, okay, right. Another failure.
But yeah, on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, yeah, you could.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where the issue might come in, though, is voice chat. Because I don't know how that's going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've not played Fortnite since the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was going to, set it to play as against anyone and everyone, regardless of system.
Yeah.
Just to see how it runs and stuff. But I just can't really be asked. But I think voice chat might be the biggest issue. However, if you know the people you're playing with, there's Discord, there's Skype, TeamViewer 10, Facebook Messenger has group chats, and you can start video calls in them. So it wouldn't be so much of an issue about being able to voice chat. It's just, would voice chat work through the game if it's cross-platform? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fair point, yeah.
But yeah, you could create a team using players on different consoles as long as they all set their thing to cross-platform open.
Yeah.
Because I imagine what it's going to be is if you play PlayStation, you can set it to PlayStation only or cross-platform. And I imagine you'll be able to do the same on Xbox and Switch, PC, and mobile. On mobile devices for any games that cover them as well, like Fortnite, you'll be able to set it to just the same format platform as you, or cross-platform. I imagine that's how it's going to work.
Yeah. Was more final point just like more of a possibly just neurotic security issue? Obviously when it comes to like say hacking, it's mainly PCs. So does this crossplay open you up more to a possibility of account hacking?
It could, but I doubt it. Here's the thing, like, it wouldn't be that easy just because cross-platform's open. There's still the same security features there.
Okay.
But because they're going to a completely new... As long as there's no vulnerabilities in either side's security. So if, say, you try to hack a connection going from the PlayStation to the Xbox in a game of Fortnite, as long as there's no vulnerabilities in either side of the security systems for Sony and Microsoft, you should be fine.
Okay.
It should still be just as safe as PlayStation to PlayStation.
So no need to like take off your like credit card details or whatever before you start playing? No,
you should be fine.
Okay.
As long as there's no vulnerabilities in the systems, you should be good. I don't see it being an issue. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've been wrong before. But if that's a precaution you want to take, I suggest you take it. I don't feel the need to take that precaution. A, because I'm skint all the time anyway.
I get that, man. I get that.
And B, I do believe that if that was going to be an issue, then none of the companies would open it up to cross-platform. I do believe that they've taken the possibility of that, calculated it out, and thought it's not likely unless someone sits and takes the time to break down like the security system, which you would have to do either way, whether cross-platform or no, then you're going to be fine. Because don't forget, like, both PlayStation and Xbox have been hacked.
Yeah, annoyingly.
And I don't think you're any more at risk now than you were back then. Well, you were a bit more at risk back then than you are now, but because the security software wasn't as advanced now as it was back then. But you get my drift.
Yeah, I get your drift, man.
Back then it was a lot of work because it was still a tough security system. It's even tougher now, but also hackers are smarter. So there is, like, proportionally, it's gone up pretty much the same amount. I don't think you're going to have any issues. I don't think hacking's going to be an issue. And if anyone is going to hack it, they're still going to need to do the same amount as if they were going to hack one or the other anyway.
Alright, cool.
There's no increased risk. I don't see it. It wouldn't be smart business to open cross-platform if there wasn't an increased risk. Anyway, continuing on. I don't even know which one I want to talk about first.
Well, we know... do we really know much about Igor 1, really?
I don't know much, but I know enough to chat about it.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be proper news, but at the same time we can chat about it. Well, why don't we start off with Telltale first?
I hate to choose a more depressing one.
End on a high note. Well, high note for you.
I don't know if it's a high note for me. I'm more like, alright then, this is going to be weird.
Telltale Games are struggling right now. They have recalled the season pass for The Walking Dead, for the final season of The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
They've recalled the season pass for that due to the inability of knowing whether or not they can complete it.
Which is shocking for anyone to have to admit.
Yeah. But, see, the problem is they've not changed since they started making the kind of visual novel-y type games that we know them for now.
I suppose if you go by logic of if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, but the problem was as they progressed in making games, they started wanting physics in the games, but didn't put a physics engine in their game engine. So everything had to be hand done, all the physics stuff. So if you wanted, say, a ball to roll down a hill or a book to fall off a shelf, you had to animate that by hand, and it was scripted.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a proper physics engine simulation where while it's scripted to do that at that point in time, how it does it is random and based on the physics engine, you know. So it is. They didn't change what needed to be changed. Not a lot needed to be changed.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it is fairly expensive to upgrade a game engine, especially if you're putting a physics engine in it.
Yeah. So as opposed to just actually updating as time goes on, it's more like they just waited too long.
Yeah. Now the problem with this is they've had to lay off so many members of staff.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've laid off 70% of their staff,
which is fucking insane.
And a lot of these members of staff are now in a class action lawsuit against Telltale Games over the issue of labour rights.
Okay.
And labour conditions.
Okay, right, that makes more sense. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently it wasn't the best environment to be working in.
Which is a shame considering all our games are just really nice and stuff.
I wasn't really a big fan of Telltale Games myself. Well, I mean, we were discussing this before the podcast. There were some games by Telltale that I really, really quite enjoyed. Particularly the CSI games they developed for Ubisoft.
Yeah, so original stuff.
Yeah. But their license titles like Batman, Telltale Batman, Tales from the Borderlands, Game of Thrones, Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us. I wasn't a fan of most of them. I played Tales of the Borderlands and I played Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a fan. Like, the only reason I played them is because I got them for free on PSN. And I got them with the season passes for free, so...
Not bad.
That's the only reason I really played them, but I wasn't a fan.
I think it was a nice change of pace. If you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. It just wasn't for me, that was all.
Yeah, that's because you want ultimate control.
No, I like visual novels. I've got quite a few on Steam. I didn't enjoy the Telltale ones, that was all.
Fair enough.
But yeah, so they are looking for investors to see if they can finish off the games, the last 3 episodes of the final season of Walking Dead, I think. So
you're thinking like what, Patreon, Kickstarter, or do you mean proper
investors?
A big budget investors.
to see if they can finish off these games.
Mhm.
And if they can finish off these games, they will bring the season pass back out. But it looks like it will be their last project.
Oh. Do you reckon they maybe get like bought up? I think you're talking like, was it Google were consolidating, but then you also get what's the other one that's pure buying up everyone in their maw?
THQ Nordic.
Yes.
You know what? It's possible. I'm not going to say yes. I'm not going to say no. Because obviously I'm not involved with either of those companies.
No. Unfortunately.
But yeah, it is possible. They might, because at the same time, you might even find EA doing it. Because here's the thing.
I'd rather not.
With THQ Nordic are doing something kind of similar to EA just now.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of buying development studios and shuttering them and then keeping their IPs, they're buying studios that have gone under and no longer exist, but they're buying their assets and buying the rights to their IPs. That's what they've done, like with Time Splitters.
Yeah.
And so on. So you know what, you could see it happen. Google are talking like we mentioned last time. Google are talking about making their own console, so they have been buying up smaller developers. Telltale might be a bit too big of a developer for them to buy, but it would definitely have a fair amount of IPs that would then become exclusives to the Google console if they do bring out a console. So we could see it happen. I don't feel positive on the fact that it would happen, but
so you thinking the only way?
I'm not ruling it out,
yeah.
But I don't see it happening.
So you thinking the only way like Nordic could take them on is if they actually went under, as opposed to just they're still fighting now.
Well, THQ Nordic own Koch Media, who are the parent company of Deep Silver.
Okay.
Deep Silver's still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not just taking dead companies and taking their IPs. They are taking some companies that are still going strong.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of the companies they've been buying up just now are companies with no staff. It's just they're buying the name and buying the IPs.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's not. I don't see it being likely, but I cannot say for sure.
Mm-hmm.
However, it will more likely be THQ than Google. I will tell you that much.
Yeah. Whether or not Google actually decides to have a proper jump into it or what, I don't know. Seems like it'd be a pure risky move, considering like the amounts Nintendo's had to do just to become a viable home console, let alone more than just a handheld.
Yeah. The thing is, though, Nintendo have been at this for a while, though.
Mm-hmm.
We all know Nintendo starting with the NES, or as it's called in Japan, the Famicom.
Okay.
Right? But I believe the first console over there, the first console that Nintendo made was called the TV Color 7.
Wow.
And then they upgraded it to be the TV Color 15. And it was just a Pong machine.
Oh, fuck.
For the 7, with the paddles built into the console. And the 15 was the same thing, but with cords on the paddles. And you could move, sit at a table and have it, well, sit in a chair and have the thing sitting on the table and you're not having to reach over to it.
Yeah.
But their first commercially successful one even, it was the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the Famicom in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And now with the exception of the Wii U, all their consoles have been successful.
Yeah,
the Wii U is the most successful console ever built. It surpassed the PS2. The PS2 was more popular in the generation that it existed compared to the GameCube, I think, maybe. Yeah, it would have been the GameCube. It was more popular than the GameCube. It was more popular than the Xbox. It's the second best-selling console.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo Wii overtook it a few years back. But you know what? It's they make the reason though that Nintendo can still make video game consoles that aren't as powerful. Like if Google come into the market, they're going to have to build an insanely high-tech piece of kit.
Yeah.
Which is more powerful than Sony or Microsoft and has better games. Because it's their first foray into the market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Apple tried to take out Nintendo with the Apple Pippin. Yes?
The Apple Pippin?
The Pippin.
Who thought it was a good idea? The Pippin.
But this was just after Apple had been moving away from gaming PCs because they had the 2GS, and that was the last computer that Apple made with gaming in mind. That's why Apples are considered generally pretty crappy computers for gaming.
Yeah,
because at that time, Apple had PCs with games on it. Microsoft didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then Apple wanted a piece of the Enterprise Pi.
Enterprise Pi.
Because, Enterprise editions of OSs were selling better at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like Windows Business and stuff. I can't remember what it was actually called, but it was back in the 80s before I was born. So
yeah, for me as well.
So all of these were selling a lot better than kind of home editions. So they wanted to be a business PC, business computer. And then as Apple moved into Windows territory, Windows seen an opening for people wanted to play games on PCs. So they started, and they seen that people who were making PC games on Windows were using MS-DOS, which is the command line function, which gives you access to all the hardware as well as being able to run software from it. So they made what we now know as Windows. As I think it was starting with Windows 95. And now Windows has overtaken Mac as the kind of gaming PC OS rather than Apple's operating system, which wasn't called iOS at the time. It was called something else. But that's what happened. But anyway, back to the Pippin. The Pippin was their way back into doing that, into gaming PCs, but it didn't have many games on it. It focused too much on things like email, Internet Explorer, and things like that. And it didn't work well. So Google are going to have to bring out something special. They are going to have to bring out something special because, they're not going to touch Nintendo.
Yeah.
Because Nintendo, for the last 10, 12 years now, have not been building powerful consoles, but they have been building consoles that sell because they innovate. First it was motion controls, then the tablet function with the Wii U. The Wii U was a flop. It was a highly underrated console. It was so much fun to play. But because you needed the tablet, the asynchronous display style, where you could have, like the 2DS or the DS with the two screens showing different things as part of the same game. Not a lot of people were wanting to develop for that, so it was only really supported by Nintendo. You didn't get a lot of third-party developers, and the ones who you did get third-party developers for the Wii U, most of them, it was just shovelware.
All right, okay.
So shovelware is just a piece of shit that you just...
All right, so because this is like a fuck.
Here's a game. Look at this. It doesn't play very well, but it's a game. Woo. Yeah, shovelware.
That'll be one thing I remember. It was like shovelware. I don't need to remember that.
Have you want to learn another one?
Oh, here we go.
Vaporware.
Vaporware?
Yes. And I'll tell you more about that in a minute.
Oh, for fuck's sake, right.
Once I've finished my point.
Okay.
But Google aren't going to be able to compete with Nintendo because they're innovating how we play games with like the Switch home console that's portable and you can play on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's why they need to bring something special to fight against Microsoft and Sony if they are coming into the console market.
Well, considering some like of Google's less successful ventures, like such as Google Glass.
I liked the concept of Google Glass.
Yeah.
I liked the idea behind it. I liked what it was meant to do.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't look great, and
no,
it didn't,
fucking stupid.
when it did come out, it didn't function great.
Yeah,
but it would have been if they got everything right,
mm-hmm.
and the price point was a bit too high as well.
How much was that again?
Hmm?
How much was that again?
I think it was nearly $1,000
Seriously?
for a pair of glasses that has one lens and a wee tiny tiny computer over it.
Ugh.
But I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a fairly high tech piece of kit. It just had too many kinks and it was too highly priced. It wasn't a great goal for it. But that could have been great for things like AR.
Yeah, I mean, for all we know, we could have been trying to incorporate failed projects into like one master project.
Yeah.
If we did incorporate in Google Glass, but even then try and work it so it's maybe, how to put it, like so you're playing a game, right? But you got the HUD through like Google Glass.
That would be pretty cool, but you would then have to have Google Glass.
Well, yeah, I suppose. But if we incorporated it into the console,
then it would work. But if you had to then buy Google Glass separately,
no, that'd be bullshit. I'd hate it.
Because that would be another $1,000 on top. And if they incorporated Google Glass into it, it would make Google Glass cheaper.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft are selling consoles at about a 15 to 20% loss, and they're getting back the losses through console sales, particularly through things like their online stores.
Definitely, yeah, we're booming in the industry right now.
They would be selling Google Glass at a loss, but it would still be expensive if you're pairing up Google Glass with a console, because then you're looking at a price point of still nearly $1,000, maybe a wee bit more.
Well, if you consider the fact it was a failed venture, then maybe if we do just properly knock it down in price, then
it would depend on how much of a loss they're willing to take on selling the console, and how much they think they can recoup from game sales. Yeah, because if they don't think they're going to make it a lot of from game sales, there's no point in selling it at like 20% loss.
Yeah, I suppose. I don't know, it'd just be like more interesting take in games if you incorporate more diverse methods.
Yeah, it would be interesting, and if they could get it down pat, it would work. But I don't see them doing that, because I don't think they would believe they can make back the money. That they would need to sell it at a loss high enough to make it seem worth buying.
I get you.
I think what we're going to see is another PlayStation, Xbox competitor on the same level as it, just straight up power in a box that you plug into your telly.
So basically, it's going to be the, was it technically fifth? Yeah, the bottom of the pack was the fifth. Yeah, arguably, yeah, it'd be the fifth. In terms of getting competitors, it'd be the fifth one. In terms of major games, like PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Switch, so it'd always be the bottom of the rung for good few generations.
Yeah, because next up's Gen 8. If they've released in Gen 8, it would probably be about 11 or 12, maybe,
before they're
starting to get anywhere, unless, like I said, they bring out something special, which is Google, so they could well do. I don't know. I would need to. I would wait to hear more about it before I speculate anything, though. To be fair, because if they are bringing out a console, I would want to see what they're doing before I would even take a guess at where they're going with it.
Mm.
Because for all I know, I'm saying they're going to bring out something special to compete with Microsoft and Sony.
Yeah.
For all I know, they could be working on something to compete with the Switch. Something to innovate how games are played.
Mm.
So I'm saying all this, but for all I know, they could be doing the exact opposite of what I'm saying.
There are a few ways you could change the gaming experience, but then you have to consider would it be necessary to change it in that way?
Exactly, and that's what Nintendo do.
Mm.
They think about how they would like to play games.
Yeah.
That's why with the Switch, it's in a dock, play it on a big telly. I need to go out, take it with me, so that your gaming experience doesn't have to stop just because you're no longer at a telly.
Mm.
I mean, considering how good the handhelds that Nintendo make,
Yeah.
the DS line, the Game Boy line, the Game & Watches, they were all fantastic handheld consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't surprised, to be fair, when I seen the Switch was portable and a home console. I was surprised it was possible, but I wasn't surprised Nintendo came up with it.
Mm.
So yeah, if Google can get the tech right, then it would be fantastic.
I mean, only like tech innovation, well, not even the tech innovation, but more like a software innovation I can think of that would be more interesting, more useful, maybe to an extent, would be the idea of like you're talking about how like cross-platform. You need if we don't do voice chat and stuff.
Yeah.
But what if you take that a bit further and considering it's a top-down console, like it's their console, and they made it so you could almost like Skype in one corner of the screen, like in game, if that makes sense.
Well, if you're going to do something like that, it would be Microsoft to do that because Microsoft owns Skype.
Well, I didn't mean
Skype,
but that kind of idea.
But video chat, well, they've been beaten to that as well.
Who's done that?
No one officially is doing it, but you can do it on PC using TeamViewer 10 or Discord or even Skype.
Oh yeah. I suppose.
So you can have video chat going while you're playing games.
Yeah, but that's an external component, though.
True, but the fact, I mean, you could, as a console feature, you could, but I don't know.
Like how many can you do in terms of open windows?
I just know that with Discord, it would be you would have to use like a combination of screen share and something else. The video chat feature. I don't know about how many windows you can do. I mean, 2 maybe, game and Discord.
Yeah.
But I mean, also then it depends on what you're playing, because you could then go up to about 5 if you're playing racing games with the direct drive wheel. If you are using special peripherals, they might require you to have an application open for that and things like that. So it could be 2, it could be anything. You could even get Discord overlays where you don't even need to have Discord open as a window. You could have it minimized to the system tray and it works just through the game. So it's hard to say. But I did say I was going to teach you about vaporware.
Oh, here we go.
Yes. Well, there's a game that we were then going to talk about.
Okay.
Which could very well be vaporware.
Okay, I'm intrigued, right?
A game which you hear loads of stuff about and never appears. Duke Nukem Forever was vaporware for 15 years.
And then you wish it stayed that way. Fuck's sake.
But yeah, so the other topic, the other piece of news which we weren't sure if we were going to cover or not, which we are covering, is a leaked, apparently, trailer or focus group presentation
Some shit.
about a new Harry Potter open world action RPG. Now, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but watching the video of it, it doesn't look all that bad. The video was blurry and shaky and everything, like it's been recorded on a phone, because it probably has been recorded on a phone.
Someone's getting fired.
But I don't know, like, see, it doesn't look quite real to me.
Or maybe it's just like the latest mock-up and they haven't kind of polished.
Here's the thing, it was all over Reddit, and the person on Reddit was saying that it's going to be developed by Rocksteady. Now, Rocksteady generally make a lot of Warner Brothers IPs. They have a lot of the Warner Brothers licenses.
Mm-hmm.
They currently have an unnamed IP in the works. So that made it sound absolutely spot on. But it turns out, if anyone's going to be making it, it's going to be Avalanche, which is owned by Warner Brothers.
All right.
Which then makes you go a bit, maybe not. And then I went to watch the video on Polygon's website today, and it said it was a YouTube video, and it said this video has been blocked by Warner Brothers Entertainment Interactive, which then went, maybe it is real.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I don't know where to go with this, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm probably not going to play it or buy it anyway. I'm not a Harry Potter fan.
Mm-hmm.
But the suspense is killing me. Is it a legit game? Is it not? Who the hell's making it? Is it just being blocked by Warner Brothers because it's Harry Potter?
Yeah.
And not because it's an actual game? Is it vaporware? Is it real? Is it shovelware? Is it what?
Like, see, for me, I'm in the all or end of spectrum. You're caring about what's going to happen or not. For me, I'm more caring about the actual locations of the game. For me,
well, the Reddit post said Diagon Alley, Hogwarts. That was only two that were mentioned.
Right, so basically it is going to be like student-based.
Yep. You go to Hogwarts as a fifth year student.
You're already a fucking fifth
year.
What? What's the fucking point?
You get to choose your friends. In the character creation, you choose your own house. You can choose...
You choose your own house?
Yep.
No. It needs to be like a pure, like, 50 question there, and then it'll be like, no, this is where you actually belong. And I'm like, do you know what? Fine. Don't say, right, you can choose what you want. That's not the fucking point. Also, just saying, what do you reckon you'd be?
Yellow.
Hufflepuff.
I don't know. It was Codder when I was at high school, so
Fuck
go for
up.
Dumbass. It's Codder when I was at school.
Nah, I'd probably choose Hufflepuff as well. I feel like a best there. I'm more chill and shit.
See, for me to answer that question with any actual knowledge, I would, like, because I'm assuming when people say what one would you pick, I'm assuming that, like, because I've seen the first one, right?
The first movie, you mean?
Yeah, the first movie. I read a couple of the books. The books weren't bad.
The books are very good. They're a lot more detailed than the movies ever get.
I wasn't a fan of the books, but I would read them again, but they wouldn't be my first choice of something to pick up. Do you know what I mean? It's the same with Lord of the Rings. I would read Lord of the Rings.
Oh God, no. I don't think I could read it.
It wouldn't be my first choice.
No.
I would not watch the movies again. I didn't like Lord of the Rings movies. I didn't like the Harry Potter movies I've seen. But I know that the Sorting Hat puts you in the house you're put in based on personality traits and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to make an informed decision when you ask me a question like that, I would actually have to know what that entails.
It does vary.
What kind of person goes into what kind of house?
See, it can vary, but sometimes it looks... Basically, originally, it's like it sets down the traits and it always paints Slytherin as a negative one. But at the same time, having those traits doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's not like all Slytherin people are assholes, but it's more like Slytherin's painted as asshole house and people who go in there have this dodgy sense of pride in being in there. So it's perverted itself. But yeah, that's like, even the point I was wanting to look at. For me, the idea of doing a student-based game seems a bit boring, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because from what I read, you're going to be fighting trolls and things, crafting potions, learning spells, and all of this various thing. And you have this innate ability to find ancient artifacts of immense power.
Right. See, to play this game for me, I'd need to have a few questions answered before I can do it, and remotely get into it. Like, one, I need to actually find out why the fuck you're deciding to start in 5th year. That's random as fuck. I need to find out if this is set before or after Harry Potter, because then it gives you an idea of what the hell you're gonna fight, or it doesn't matter when. And for me, like any good Final Fantasy game, you need a good side like a mini game. For me, I loved playing the standalone Quidditch game. Don't know if you ever played it.
No, I didn't.
Like for me, it's one of
believe it or not.
Shut up. For me, it was one of. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna fudge it. It was one of my favorite ever sports games. I played the shit out of Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup. It was amazing. If there's ever gonna be a game that gets revamped and brought back, I would love for it to be that one. But in saying that, I don't think I could go back and play a class-based game, especially after seeing the latest Harry Potter universe movies, which are the Fantastic Creatures and Where to Find Them. Because I love the idea more of taking the spells of Harry Potter and the lore, but putting it into a real-world narrative and making it more adult and mature and just make it more real. I would have loved, instead of that being... Basically, there's characters... there's a... in the Ministry of Magic, right, you get guys called Aurors, right? They're like the wizarding detectives. I would have much preferred a game centered on being one of them. So that way you'd have to deal with any creatures who are causing havoc, killing people, any wizards doing crimes, that kind of thing. Be it selling like blacklisted potions or just dodgy shit to muggles. Any people who are just causing terror, and obviously serial killers.
Yeah. For
me, using spells, learning that kind of shit, that would have been really interesting, a more darker take in the Potterverse.
Yeah.
As opposed to basically revamping the original PS1 Harry Potter games with better graphics.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be like it's going to be like the original Harry Potter games with better graphics. Like, because it seems to be something about... It seems to be like they're saying it's going to be very open-ended in the way of your morality choices will affect the game.
Oh.
You can choose to be good or evil. You can choose to fight against the good and evil. You could, from the sounds of it, you could choose to be evil and fight the evil.
Or be the bigger evil.
Yes. Ooh. Fight the evil so you are the bigger evil.
Like that?
Yes.
That could be interesting,
I don't know. Again, this is just rumour and speculation. It only hit the news about 3 o'clock our time today, so that would be 7 hours ago.
Not bad.
So we don't have a clue, especially because we started recording, about 7 o'clock?
Yeah, Jesus.
No, less than, about 8:30. No,
half
7. Half 7, because we've been at this for 2.5 hours, and it's not long turned to 10 o'clock.
Fuck.
So, this, but 5 hours before we started recording, this broke.
Yeah.
So any new developments since we started this podcast, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So, for all we know, by the time we finish this recording, it could be fake. It could be the studios that came out and going, by the way, guys, this is fake.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. So we're just going from what we can figure out at this point in time.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether I believe it's true or not, because if it seems too good to be true, it usually is. That's the way the saying goes.
Yeah.
And to me, like, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so it's just the mystery that's compelling me here.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, is this the real deal? Is it vaporware? Is it going to be made by Rocksteady? Is it going to be made by Avalanche? Is it,
what else happened, basically?
I just want to know, because it seems really interesting to me, like, what's going to happen next.
I wonder if like J.K. Rowling's going to get tons of tweets. Like, have you written a story for this game?
I imagine they probably will. So, yeah. But no, from what I've seen, like on the trailer thing, despite the fact it was shaky and fuzzy, as if it's recorded on a phone, like not even like a decent newer phone. It seems like it was recorded on like my dad's phone.
All right, Jesus.
That's how low the quality was. But it does look like it's been a fair way into development, and I imagine we would have heard something about it now. Especially considering shortly after I'd seen this story, I was like, right, it's cool, I'll ignore it for a while, I'll maybe come back to it, I'll decide what to do it later. And by the time I came back to it, I'd seen new rumours kicking around that it's called Harry Potter Magic Awakening. No, Magic Awakened, even.
See, that might be a disservice if it's not going to be a Harry Potter based game to say Harry Potter.
Well, that's what I'd seen kicking around, so. So, anyone who is interested in it, keep an eye out for that kicking around on things like Twitter, Facebook, Polygon.com, Kotaku, Rock Paper Shotgun, PC Gamer, our channel.
Yeah, just maybe give us an update if you know more than us.
If we hear anything about it like it is real, we might, if we have the time, we'll post a video with some proper reaction to it.
Oh my god! Or, ha, shite. Or, shovelware.
Shovelware. No. Yeah.
You're forgetting your own terms.
Yeah. Or vaporware.
That'd be even worse.
I think, I've got the feeling vaporware is most likely.
For a while.
Actually,
anyway.
to be fair, it wouldn't even be vaporware if it's fake.
Oh Christ! What the fuck's that then?
A hoax.
Oh, wait, shut up! What, are you gonna give me some random as shit title? Imagine a hoax.
Fakeware?
Nah, it just sounds dodgy.
No, it would just be a hoax or fake.
Okay.
Fake news.
Ugh. Don't bring him into evil little Oompa where he is.
What's wrong with J. Jonah Jameson?
Oh, terrible. Right.
Anyway, I believe that's us. Unless there's anything else you want to bring up about anything at all.
I'm tapped, so I'm good.
I'm still excited for all the Final Fantasy games coming out over the next year for Switch. I believe the next one coming out is World of Final Fantasy Maxima Edition or Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. The two that I'm kind of most excited about, because I've played World of Final Fantasy, but the Maxima Edition's a kind of new version with added content, and I've not played Crystal Chronicles in forever, because that's one of the few popular Final Fantasies that's not been re-released or remastered lately.
Yeah.
And that was originally released on the GameCube. So and it was a bit of a pain to play because you had to have a Game Boy Advance to use as a controller.
All right.
But it was 4-player and everything. It was so fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to playing that. I'm looking forward to playing all of them on Switch. I'm turning my Switch into a wee party game and RPG machine, and I can't wait. But yeah, that's the last from me. So as always, we have been Gaming Kin. As always, I've been Jack. This has been Mark.
Bye.
And remember, there's always room for you here at Gaming Kin if you want to be our friend.
Bye.
Stay safe out there.
Stuck in the friend zone, I'm going home alone. You went home with another guy. Why rising out of the pit. I can make out a small beam of light against a mirror. What's that? There's a jet of flame springing from the mirror and it leaps right at the advancing men. It strikes them head on. Lords are turning into flames. The whole field's caught up by the woods, the barns, the gas tanks for the automobiles, spreading everywhere. It's coming this way now, about 20 yards from